Meet the Runcandel family, a sword house so powerful it dominates half the known world. Their children are born with monstrous talent and bodies built for battle. And then there is Jin, the youngest son, who at the selection ceremony reaches out and chooses the patriarch's own blade. The founder's sword, the very symbol of Runcandel. Even Jin is intrigued. He assumes a life of glory is guaranteed. It is not. Because Jin grows up to be the single worst swordsman the family has ever produced. His siblings never let him forget it, still swinging that useless wooden sword, little brother. They circle him like wolves, demanding he answer his almighty brothers. Jin just takes it. He has learned that talking back only makes it worse. But he keeps swinging that sword anyway. Why even bother, they sneer. It is pointless. You are pointless. Day after day, the same cruelty. They mock him for studying swordsmanship theory, as if a little reading could fix something so hopeless. He reads it anyway. Quietly, stubbornly, refusing to give up on himself. We are doing this for your sake, they insist, the favorite lie of every bully who ever lived. And when words are not enough, they decide to teach him a lesson with their fists. This is Jin's childhood, a great name and nothing but pain underneath it. His only hope is a simple, desperate belief. Work hard enough, and the family will finally accept me. He clings to that hope with everything he has. It is the one thing that keeps him standing. Then it does not work. Spare your life, they tell him, before banishing him from the family at 25 to wander the world alone. And out there, abandoned and adrift, Jin finally discovers the truth. He does have talent. Just not for the sword. His gift was magic all along. For 3 years, he pours himself into it. And for the first time, the disgrace of the Runcandels starts to become something more. Then something extraordinary finds him. Who are you? Jin asks, facing a presence beyond anything mortal. I am Soldrit, the entity answers, the master of all shadows. A god, standing before Jin Runcandel. I offer you a contract, Soldrit says. Accept, and you will wield the power of shadows themselves. And more than that, you will be able to negate any curse. A curse, Jin repeats. Someone has hated you since childhood and bound your true potential with it. It is called bladed illusion, a curse that smothers all talent for the blade. A devastating thing to lay on a Runcandel. Suddenly, Jin's whole miserable life makes sense. With Soldrit's pact, no curse can ever harm him again. All that remains, the god says, is for you to become an extraordinary magic swordsman. I shall enjoy watching over you, Soldrit tells him. And Jin Runcandel, the disgrace, finally begins to rise. The curse breaks, the talent floods in. Everything he was denied comes rushing back at once. His sword feels weightless now, like it weighs nothing at all. And when he layers his magic on top of it, something terrifying takes shape. The disgrace is gone. In his place stands a magic swordsman like no other. His old weakness has ceased to exist. Finally, he whispers. My hard work, he realizes, has come to fruition. And then, at the peak of his triumph, he hears it. A sudden, crushing heaviness in his body. Something is very wrong. Master, he calls out, Soldrit, is anyone there? But no one answers. Is this because I am useless after all? Will I never even get to use the power I finally earned? After all of it. Why, he wonders, was I given a second chance at all? And then his eyes open. What is going on? I definitely died. A cheerful voice greets him. Cheer up, young Master Jin. Barasada, he breathes, recognizing the world around him with growing shock. It is the selection ceremony, the one from the very beginning. He has woken up as the old baby Jin Runcandel. The youngest young master, returned to the start of it all. He has been given the impossible, a second life. And this time, he says, gripping the future in tiny hands, I will choose it on purpose. Because Jin remembers everything. How can this be, the world seems to ask? It simply cannot stop him. The selection ceremony ends, and his new life truly begins. Welcome to Storm Castle, the cold home of the Runcandel children. It has been 6 years since Jin came here, and there is still so much he cannot reach. For now, he is bored, a genius trapped in a child's small body. Biding his time, learning his enemies, waiting. Young master, a servant gasps, there is a dead bird in your room. Here we go. It is a cruel gift from his brothers. Meet Daytona Runcandel, 9 years old, 11th of the 13 siblings. A nasty piece of work, even this young. And his partner in cruelty, Haytona, 12th of the 13. How do you like our gift? They grin, moved to tears yet. Jin knows exactly what these two become, notorious murderers once they earn their flags. But that is the future. Right now, they are just two bullies who picked the wrong baby brother. Brother, one of them taunts another nearby. Where did you leave your barasada? What did you just say? I am so sorry, the reply comes, dripping with mockery. I could not hear you, you were being so quiet. And then flatly, I said, shut the hell up. You dare, the brother snarls, ego instantly bruised. I have put up with it until now, comes the cold answer. The tension snaps like a blade. From now on, Jin's new life declares, things are going to be very different. In his old life, Jin endured the Tona twins. In this one, he ends them. Young Master Jin, a servant, stammers, staring at the collapsed brothers. What in the world happened here? A very good question. The official story writes itself. They fought all of a sudden and collapsed. As expected of Runcandels, even the children are fierce. The knight sighs and takes them to a doctor. Nobody suspects the baby of the family. But one man is not so easily fooled. A sharp-eyed knight lingers, sensing something off about the scene. Children do not simply collapse. A rainstorm gathers overhead, and so does suspicion. He watches, and he wonders. Something powerful moved through this room. It cannot be, he thinks. If so, this is no mere scuffle between brothers. He makes a decision. Bring me a horse, he orders. And Jin, watching, knows exactly where he is going. Straight to father to report what he saw. The board is already in motion. Jin flexes the shadow energy, still humming inside him. Thanks to the curse immunity that comes with being Soldrit's contractor, he is untouchable in ways no one understands. From now on, he reminds himself, many things will differ from my previous life. This time, he holds the power. Word spreads fast. The youngest beat the Tona twins. An impossible sentence in the Runcandel household. I will have to go see the youngest, an elder murmurs, intrigued. The disgrace has become interesting. Good, Jin thinks, let them look. Everything is going according to plan, only he can see. Back at Storm Castle, the wheels keep turning. The whole family is about to take notice of him. They have no idea their baby brother is the reason. Meet Diffus Runcandel, the family's 4th flag bearer. Our youngest, he frowns. He did choose the patriarch's sword at the selection, remember. There is no guessing what father is thinking. Another sighs. But they are all about to find out. Jin, meanwhile, is 2 steps ahead of every one of them. He has done this dance before. Khan is too rigid a man to leap to the truth, Jin reasons. He would never conclude a child was using real magic. The patriarch only wants to know if this power, and the boy wielding it, could serve the clan's future. We greet the patriarch, the family intones, as the great hall fills. The most powerful sword family in the world, assembled. Bring the Tona twins, the order comes. The twins grovel instantly. We did nothing wrong. Jin was the one who hurt us, with some unknown power too. And there it is. Magic is forbidden in our family, they hiss. If Jin used magic, surely that is a crime. They think they are sinking their little brother. Go bring Jin, the patriarch commands. This is Kirin Runcandel, Jin's father. The strongest swordsman of the age, a Genesis knight. He was once an ordinary man, but when he became a demigod, he lost nearly every human emotion he had. What remained was a single, cold obsession, the family and its prosperity. And to a man like that, a son with no talent for the sword may as well have never existed at all. In this life, Jin vows, I will make sure no one can ever disregard me again. He walks into the hall to face the father who erased him. This time, as an equal in the making. I greet the patriarch, Jin says, perfectly composed. Over 100 clan members came today, he explains. I concluded your visit must be official, so I addressed you formally. I am here for a different reason today, Kirin replies. Call me father for now. Then he asks the question, the same one he asked the twins. And Jin gives an answer no one expects. Revenge, he thinks, the word burning quietly behind his calm eyes. But out loud, he plays it carefully. Everyone except the youngest, the patriarch orders, leave the room. He passed the patriarch's test. The family realizes, stunned. They scramble to obey the order. And the baby of the family is left alone with the most dangerous man alive. The room empties. The real conversation begins. What is the power you were using? Kirin asks, cutting straight to it. Jin meets the demigod's stare without flinching. He has been waiting his whole second life for this moment. Without warning, he will not ignore this, Jin knows, because it is the power of Soldred himself. Even the experts are baffled. This power is neither magic nor aura, one admits. I would like to give it a name, Jin offers. This power is, so does this mean, someone asks in disbelief, that this child is destined to lead the family? The disgrace, the head of the Runcandels. That is the power of Soldred, the god of shadows, the advisor declares. The god of shadows, the room echoes. An elder, Lord Temerzair, leans forward. He is the god who helped found our family, the advisor continues. But since Lord Temer passed away, no one has wielded his power, until somehow now. It seems he is trying to return to the Runcandels through this boy. Then, Father, Jin says, I am curious about one thing. Could you win, he asks, against a god? Kirin muses, I do not know, I have never fought one before. Because you have never fought a god before, Jin repeats, filing the answer away. It is the kind of question only a future rival would think to ask. That, Kirin says with a ghost of interest, was a good question. Then let me ask you something in return, Kirin says. How do you intend to use it? It is a test disguised as a question. For the family, Jin replies. What an amusing lie. You truly expect me to believe you would use that power for the family. So Jin tells him the truth. I want to use this power for myself. Honesty, it turns out, is the smarter play with a man who sees through everything. I will keep a close eye on you from now on, the patriarch says. Coming from Kirin, that is almost affection. The interview is over. Nice, Jin exhales once he is clear. I got through that safely. One demigod father, successfully managed. This life, he marvels, really is completely different from my last one. And the differences keep coming. An older sister, Mary, presses a gift into his hands. Get strong quickly, got it, she beams. Jin blinks at her, surprised by the kindness. He did not have allies like this the first time around. Moments later, he unwraps the gift and his eyes go wide. A phoenix's heart, an absurdly rare treasure. Because Mary is no ordinary sibling. A 6-star knight, the 7th flag bearer of Runcandel. And she carries another name, one the world does not yet know. Jin remembers exactly who she becomes. Now that he thinks about it, a phoenix's heart is precisely what a 6-star mage needs to safely summon a phoenix. The gift is worth a fortune. But Jin has bigger plans than eating a fancy meal. "Thank you, Gilly," he tells a servant as his brothers lurk nearby. Older brothers, if you have something to say it quickly. "You want to eat that badly," they taunt. "Then do us one little favor first." What they do not realize is that Jin wants them to. "There's nothing here," they grumble, digging where he steered them. "If anyone finds out, the youngest gets in trouble, not us." They have no idea they are doing his work for him. This is the regressor's favorite trick. Let the bullies think they are in charge, while they unknowingly hand him exactly what he needs. The trap closes with a smile. "A teaspoon," the brothers gawk. "Isn't this too little?" That was always the joke. They got played for a spoonful of broth. "I thought they would do a half-hearted job," Jin admits, but they actually did pretty well. Sometimes the help does not need to know it is helping. "My mana was just building up with nothing to spend it on anyway," he notes. Time to fix that, because the dig had a purpose. It opened a path Jin has been waiting 6 years to walk. "I'm here," he says, standing before a hidden door. The Runcandel's secret library. "My brother said I needed a trigger phrase," he recalls. The door yawns open onto an endless vault. The secret library, where the Runcandels hoard the stolen tomes of every great family. It is enormous. And Jin intends to put it to very good use. But something in the dark stirs. What is that? He is not alone in here. Scales, he realizes, that is not human. Something ancient is waiting in the shadows. "Don't tell me," a voice rumbles. "Runcandel's child is here to console Muraken." The black dragon Muraken. Legend says the founder himself defeated this beast and sealed it in a 1,000-year slumber. Jin, ever practical, ignores the world-ending dragon. "I don't have time for this. Where are the secret tomes?" "Found them," he says, browsing priceless forbidden knowledge like a library card holder. "I'll start with the Kunjin families, since they were famous swordmasters too. I would love to just take these," he muses, "but I would get caught." The dragon, meanwhile, is fully awake now. And extremely confused about the tiny human ignoring him. "Who are you?" Muraken demands. No one from Storm Castle could possibly enter this library. "What are you?" Jin finally responds. The introductions are off to a rocky start. Runcandel's child greets the family's guardian, Jin says politely. "You called me a mere guardian," the dragon roars, instantly offended. Pride, it seems, survives even 1,000 years of sleep. "How dare you treat me as a guardian?" Muraken thunders. "Damned Runcandels, is that what you teach your children?" And then the dragon catches a scent. "You," Muraken breathes. "Why can I smell shadow energy on you? Even after 1,000 years of sleep, I would know that scent anywhere." The reason Muraken woke at all, Jin realizes, is my shadow energy. Should I test something? "You do know something after all," the dragon says. "Could you be talking about this?" "Soldrit," Jin says. "The name changes everything." "The contractor you were promised." Muraken gasps. "After 4,000 years, is this little child?" "Hey, kiddo," the dragon says, recalculating fast. "I made a promise with Soldrit, and it seems you are the one I am meant to cooperate with." "A promise with Soldrit," Jin echoes. "I'll explain later," Muraken grumbles. "I just woke up, I can barely think straight." "I am Muraken," the dragon declares, Soldrit's representative. a being older than the Runcandel family itself. The last descendant of the first creature, ever born from shadow. From now on, he says, I will be at your side. Jin has just gained 1,000-year-old dragon as an ally. State your name, Soldrit's contractor Murakin commands. And the boy answers without hesitation. Jin Runcandel, he says, the disgrace now bonded to a legend. For the record, Murakin is no minor beast. The stormy Murakin mountain is named after him, a dragon who once ruled it as an absolute king. Even the founder could only seal him, not kill him. And here is the key. Those who contract with gods are meant to be paired with a guardian dragon. Since Murakin is awake, Jin reasons, does that mean I get a guardian dragon of my own? The answer is roaring right in front of him. A god's power, a dragon's strength, and a lifetime of foreknowledge. The disgrace is becoming something the world should fear. That was 1,000 years ago. How would I remember? Murakin grumbles before pivoting to what truly matters. Is this all the strawberry pie? The mighty dragon, it turns out, has a sweet tooth. Jin gets to work. Rather than steal the forbidden tomes and risk discovery, he simply copies every word by hand. Understand them already, Murakin marvels. That is just for normal kids, Jin shrugs. I am a Runcandel. This is normal for me. And he has reason to push himself. I have my father, my mother, the elders, he thinks. To tear all of them down, I have to work harder. His ambition has no ceiling. How would I fare right now, he asks the dragon, against Temur, the founder? It is a bold thing to ask. You have potential, just like Temur did, Murakin admits. But you are not as good as him yet. Then I can never match the founder, Jin presses. At that moment, you are Soldrit's contractor, just like Temur was, the dragon says. And you are smart enough to read these books. The door is open. And Murakin drops the detail that changes everything. Kid, do you know Soldrit's nickname? It is Infinity. Soldrit's power has no limit, Murakin explains, which means you, as his contractor, have no limit either. No ceiling at all. Then comes the first lesson. Shadow energy release. The foundation of everything Jin will become. All right, teach me, Jin says. First, Murakin answers, you have to learn to form your mana. Form my mana, Jin repeats. It sounds simple. It is not. You will probably practice just this for 2 or 3 years, the dragon warns. Too slow, Jin says. You do not even know the basics, Murakin scoffs. Can you teach me now, Jin replies, already doing the thing that should take years. Wait, the dragon sputters. How did you do that? Turns out a lifetime of foreknowledge skips the tutorial. You really are an amazing kid, Murakin laughs. Let me show you a glimpse of what shadow energy release can really do. The lesson begins in earnest. So Soldrit is the owner of every shadow in the world, Jin realizes. And that ownership now flows through him. Darkness bends to the boy's will. Power he was denied his entire first life, finally his. This, Murakin says, is shadow energy release. Time passes and the castle keeps turning. Luna, a knight, reports elsewhere. 4 months should be enough, an instructor decides. Tell the knights to rest, and one more thing. What, the adults wonder, do 9-year-old kids even like? They have no idea the 9-year-old in question is plotting world domination. Jin's quiet years are anything but idle. He is too busy growing stronger. Gilly, share some cake with everyone, he says, every inch the gracious young master now. And then an unexpected guest arrives. Mistress Luna has come to visit, a servant announces. This is no small event. And here is the twist. Despite being the strongest of them all, she has no interest in becoming patriarch and walked away from the bloody succession war entirely. She is the one sibling who never wanted the throne. That is how distant we were, Jin recalls. Yet here she is at Storm Castle with no warning at all. He braces for the worst. Old instincts die hard. That's not it, Luna admits, surprising him. I'm a bit nervous, actually. This is my first time seeing you up close. I feel oddly on edge. Does Jin think I'm here to keep him in check? She worries to herself. The strongest sibling, anxious about meeting the baby of the family. You may be young, she says, but I forgot for a moment that you are a Runcandel. There is real respect in it. Then you wish to speak with me in private? Nu Nim, Jin asks. Yes, she answers. I have something to tell you. When father visited you last time, the way you carried yourself caught the eye of every other sibling. They will all be watching you now, she warns. Youngest, I hope you do not lose your own happiness by getting dragged into the family's war. And Jin's mind races. She gave up the throne just to avoid this ugliness. If she truly wants me out of the rivalry, why did she never once warn me in my previous life? Something does not add up. Or, he wonders, has something already changed? This life is rewriting people he thought he knew. Jin, I mean it, Luna insists. I'm not saying this because I think you'll challenge me. I know Nu Nim, he answers. And then her tone turns to ice. Who dares, she demands, her voice dropping. Who dares attempt such a thing inside Storm Castle? Because she has realized someone tried to kill her little brother. Tell me, Jin, which sibling tried to kill you? I cannot disclose that, he answers calmly. He protects the secret. She does not let it go. Jin, she says softly, my brother. The cold legend has a warm heart after all. To think Luna knew. Nim was such a tender-hearted person, Jin marvels. It is a gift he did not expect from this life. Anyway, she says, brightening, I'm actually here to give you your birthday present. And it is not a small one. Just once, she tells him, if you ever face something you cannot handle, break the blue gem on this pendant. No matter where you are, I will come. Thank you, Nunim, Jin says, genuinely moved. A lifeline from the strongest knight in the family. I should get going, Luna says, her visit complete. She leaves, and a watchful eye notices what she left behind. You're back, Murakin says, then freezes. What is that around your neck? The dragon recognizes serious power when he smells it. 1,000 years ago, he says, countless people risked their lives just to obtain one of that maker's artifacts. Is it really that amazing? Jin asks. Of course, the dragon huffs. This came from the strong one who just visited, right? Murakin guesses. My eldest sister, Jin confirms. You sensed her from all the way here. Of course, the dragon says. She almost certainly sensed me too. You really are a worrywart, Jin teases. She is someone who gave you a gift this precious, the dragon counters. Elsewhere, Luna pauses. I sense a strong energy that was not here before, she thinks. If the little one is preparing something. Meanwhile, Murakin is just enjoying the snacks. Tastes like heaven. Allies and mysteries, gathering around the youngest son. The years roll on, and Jin grows. I'm 10 years old now, he notes. Older, stronger, and far more dangerous than anyone suspects. His training with Murakin has paid off beyond measure. The disgrace is now a hidden prodigy. Sweating, focused, relentless. Let us stop here for today, his instructor says. Okay, Jin nods. Every session sharpens him further. There is not much time before you leave Storm Castle, the instructor says, but I promise to give you the very best training, with no mistakes. His departure is coming fast. I'll be in your care until then, Jin replies, ever gracious. Meanwhile, another transformation finishes. Finally, Jin breathes. Young master, a servant frets, isn't that hot? It just feels like warm water now, Jin says, calmly absorbing the phoenix heart Mary gave him. I think I've taken in about half, he estimates. It will be fully absorbed within a few years, a priceless treasure becoming part of him. Young master, should I pack these books separately? A servant asks. Yes, Jin says, I'll read them in the carriage. Stolen forbidden tomes. Okay, that's all right. Gilly, I'm going for a short stroll. Now she blinks. You're back, kid, Murakin greets him. You remember I leave the castle tomorrow, right? Of course, the dragon says. You have no idea how long I've waited. Then how will you follow me, Jin asks. No matter how weak I've become, Murakin scoffs. This much is nothing. I'll follow you unseen. Will you regain your powers, Jin asks. Of course, the dragon says. I grow stronger as you do. I am your guardian dragon after all. Then Murakin shares a buried truth. You said Runcandel was originally a magic swordsman family, Jin recalls. Soldrit told me in my past life. And the reason they abandoned that legacy is a wound the family hides. The reason today's Runcandel rejects magic and chases only the peak of the sword, Murakin explains, is a humiliating vow forced upon them 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago, the dragon adds, you and I would have been worshipped for bringing the noblest being in the world back to them. Really, Jin muses, the weight of that history settling in. So what will you do? Murakin asks about the emptied library. Someone will notice the tomes are gone. Jin already has an answer. I haven't fully recovered, the dragon admits, so I can't hold the illusion for long. But I'll push myself as hard as I must until you're grown. If you understand that, Murakin adds, I'd appreciate a bit more respect. Oh, and I brought you something special today. Their bond is equal parts loyalty and bickering. What do you take me for? You wonderful child, the dragon beams. Raising you was worth it. Now introduce me to your nanny too. Speaking of which, you've been busy training, his nanny Gilly says, but the main castle will be even harder. I can't bake you pie whenever you want there. Don't worry, Jin smiles. I'll do my best at the main castle too. The day arrives. Guardian Knights Jerome and Holtz greet young Master Jin, his escort to the heart of the family. October 30th, 1790. The day Jin sets out for Runcandel's main estate. They prepare to use the teleportation gate. It should be a simple journey. It is not. Young master, it will be fine, Gilly insists, please. Get them, a voice shouts. About 20 enemies a knight calls. Mages and warriors may be archers, none above 7 star. Jerome and Holtz are already fighting. Gilly, Jin says, instantly in command. A child of Runcandel must never be left unattended, the knights insist. One of us stays at your side. There may be hidden equipment in this carriage, Jin notes, thinking 3 moves ahead. He is 10 years old, and the calmest person in the ambush. Please understand, he warns Gilly, even if I go a little overboard. Because the disgrace is about to reveal a sliver of his real power. I'll accept my punishment when we return to the estate, Gilly frets. Now is not the time, Jin says. Take me to the knights. I need to confirm something. If the assassins are truly after me, he reasons, now is their best chance with me out of the carriage. So why hesitate? Something about this attack is off. Block the left side, the enemy commander barks. And Jin reads their crest, a demon and black Sakura, the Yuta family of the Mytel House of Magic. Then reinforcements crash in. I'm Murica, Black King Squad's captain. We've come to rescue Jin Runcandel by the family's request. And Jin spots the deception. These weren't traitors, he realizes, they were fakes. Real 7-star knights would never have struggled against these attackers. He starts interrogating a downed assassin. Why would I tell a dog of Runcandel? The man spits. But Jin has ways of getting answers. I will do as you wish, the assassin soon gasps, breaking. The truth spills out under pressure. This damned, the man chokes, realizing who he is dealing with. The disgrace is not what the assassins were briefed on. Far from it, they came to kill a helpless child. They found something else. Jin sizes up the threat coldly. You must be a 7-star warrior at least, he tells the captured man. If you truly meant to assassinate a Runcandel, you should have sent 3 or 4 8-star knights. And then he says the quiet part out loud. That is something I want too. I do not want the reign of Runcandel. I want the reign of Jin Runcandel to begin. The assassin gives up a name. Zippel, Jin repeats. And the pieces click into place. Unlike Runcandel, who chased the ultimate sword, Zippel is the family that forced the humiliating oath, banning magic across all of Runcandel and sealing their magical power for 1,000 years. I understand now, Jin says. Runcandel is Zippel's lifelong enemy too. Just hurry and kill me, the assassin begs. The web of old hatreds runs deep. No matter how good their disguise, the knights note, it cannot fool a 7-star warrior's eyes. So that bastard was behind this, Jin thinks. At that moment, the ambush is broken. The message is received. New allies, one in blood on the road. Jin is gathering a court of his own. He wants the reign of Jin Runcandel to begin, and it already has. His new soldiers fall in line. Just shut up and do as I say, Mureka snaps at his squad. Captain, we can depart now. The danger passes for the moment. Alive or dead, Jin decides of the assassins, they'll make good examples for their comrades. The disgrace has teeth now. We'll wait for the snow to stop, he says. Don't blame yourself for the escort. None of this was your fault. Gilly is still the same kind soul as before, and Jin is determined to protect the people who were kind to him this time around. Gilly was my nanny in my past life too, Jin reflects. But because I was talentless, she was scorned and despised right alongside me. This life is different, he vows, and Gilly needs to find her resolve as well. Young master, she says, I'll gladly accept any punishment for what happened. Don't blame yourself, he insists. A beat later, this is an order, Gilly, he says firmly, while you serve as my nanny. Yes, young master, she answers, moved. I'll do better. I have to hold it together, she resolves, so I don't worry him any further. Jin turns his mind to the real threat. 2 rooms, please, he tells the inn. Those fake guardian knights. If I'm right, that person is involved. The transformation sorcerer, Buber Gaston. Not even dragons can manage a perfect transformation, Jin recalls. Buber was the only being who ever could. A shapeshifter who can wear any face. If Buber is involved, this just got very complicated, Jin thinks. In my past life, Bament's Special Affairs Division arrested him when I turned 20. I have no reason to spare a man who pointed his sword at me, he decides. Before Buber causes more trouble, I need to see what has already changed. The timeline is shifting around him. And then his quiet planning is interrupted by something small and very loud. It's so noisy, a sleepy voice complains. Did I fall asleep? A cat of all things has wandered in. Except it is not really a cat. Could you be, Jin starts. I guess it's a bit absurd, the creature says. Anyway, I'll hide well, so don't worry. You meant to do that by becoming a cat, Jin deadpans. Sorry, Murakin says. I was just surprised you reacted. The mighty dragon moonlighting as a house cat. If I showed my true form, Murakin grumbles, every knight in your family would notice me. The disguise is, regrettably, necessary. You, a voice suddenly cuts in. How dare you go after the young master? A guard snarls, mistaking the situation. Who are you? What are you here for? Gilly demands. Wait a minute, Gilly, Jin says. This person is, well. Strawberry pie, the cat, dragon offers hopefully, diffusing nothing. Things are going smoothly, Jin notes. At this rate, I'll reach 3-star swordsmanship in 2 years, but before that. Today's training will be like yesterday's, his instructor says, but you will face it differently every single day. With your mind's eye, the lesson goes. Jin learns to see beyond what is in front of him. You cannot survive in Runcandel like that. The world keeps warning him. Jin intends to do far more than survive. I'll destroy you, an enemy vows. Get in line. Bellup, an ally, pleads. Please become strong enough to protect that kindness of yours. It is the one thing Jin guards above all. The kindness this world tried to beat out of him. All right, he says gently, I'll bring your meal along with mine. Even now, he looks after the people beneath him. Please, an enemy begs, as Jin's reputation begins to precede him. A beat later, please don't kill me, a survivor stammers. Are you Kinzello? Jin asks coolly. So a few of you lived after all. No, the man cries, I'm not. Ah, so it is you, Jin says, recognizing a face from the conspiracy. I completely forgot about him because of the Kinzello business, Jin admits. Loose ends, getting tied up. In this life, he swears, I'll become a celestial knight. I'll surpass even that. He sets his sights on the brutal intermediate class. The Tona brothers are there, Jin knows. And once you enter, even siblings turn on each other, old or young, to keep one another in check. Anyone soft-hearted gets eaten alive in that place, he thinks. Where strength and skill are everything, there is only one thing for me to do: dominate it completely. Come in, his mother calls. You called for me, mother, Jin asks. Yes, she says. I heard you executed your mission safely. The matriarch has been watching him. And she has a gift and a test. Only the child destined to be the next patriarch may use that room, she explains. It has sat empty since Joshua used it as a boy. It is a staggering honor. Why, Jin wonders. All right, you may go, she says. But the gift is a double-edged sword. He will become a target for everyone who is passed over, she thinks. So, he figured out I was testing him. You will join my faction, she informs him. You'll be dragged into territorial battles and constant harassment. Do not simply watch it happen, she warns. It all disappears once you completely crush the intermediate class. Until then, move in groups of 3, never act alone. Yes, Jin answers. He is being armed for war by his own mother. Enter Zed Runcandel, a senior of the family, an 8-star knight and Chiron's younger brother. 10 rookies entered this year, he announces, and 27 dropped out. I only teach swordsmanship and grade your performance, Zed says. Everything else, short of murder, you handle yourselves. The weak are not needed in Runcandel, he declares. It is the family's coldest creed. The weak are not needed, the chant repeats. So noisy, Jin thinks. They're just trying to discourage us. He sizes up the room. That rough-looking one trained for years, he notes. No way the twins recruited him on their own. The politics are already knotted around him. What the hell, a rival panics. Why is he coming this way? Don't be scared, another says. We have sisters Mayu and Anne backing us now. They are about to learn that backing means nothing. Because Jin does not negotiate with bullies anymore. He makes examples of them. A scream tears through the training hall. Call a medic, someone shouts. Jin, you bastard, are you insane? His brothers roar. Why did you? Then Jin turns to the wounded trainee. What is your name? Do you know why I cut off your arm? He asks, ice in his voice. Brothers, he says without looking up. Can't you see I'm talking to Kajin here? He has just rewritten the room's entire hierarchy in one stroke. My trainee, his brothers sputter. Is he part of your faction now? Jin does not even dignify it. It is a hierarchy battle, and the youngest just won the opening move. They tried to suppress their little brother and got hit back twice as hard. Thanks to that, Jin's actions are no longer dismissed as some unforeseen accident. You may point your swords at me, he tells them all, or even ambush me like you just tried. The family's 13th son, and its youngest. Moments later, the one everyone underestimated, now refusing to be ignored. Why injure the cadet? Zed presses. Because Jin answers coolly, I was not truly fighting the Tona twins. I was fighting you, Elder. How interesting, Zed says. The whole room leans in. I might behead you on the spot, the 8-star knight warns. I took that as you attacking me, Jin replies, utterly unshaken. It is a staggering thing for a child to say to a demigod's brother. And Zed loves it. Everything is as you said, except the part where I am unhappy, the uncle admits. Then you should have drawn your sword on me. Why injure the cadet instead? Kajin or your brothers would be one thing. It seems you do not treasure your life, or you trust too much in being the patriarch's son. A life can be lost in a single instant, Zed reminds him. And yet, your foolish bravado makes me, your uncle, happy, he laughs. Because it is exactly what a Runcandel should be. What this brat has shown you, Zed tells the cadets, is our true identity as sword fanatics. Now struggle, all of you. And he leaves Jin with a warning. Right now, you should fear our elder brothers and sisters far more than me. Back home, his nanny greets him. Young master, you came back early. Gilly, Jin says, I've begun the hierarchy war with the Tona twins. But I believe my older sisters, Anne and Mayu, are quietly backing them. After some digging, he confirms it. That cadet belonged to my sister's faction. My brothers gave it away with a careless word. And both sisters already act with the authority of flag bearers. Powerful enemies for a 10-year-old. They want him isolated. Moments later, they will arrange things so I can easily be hurt or killed, Jin reasons. But high-difficulty solo missions have a silver lining. On a solo mission, no one is watching me. So I just need to thank my dear sisters. He smirks and rack up an undeniable record. Every trap turned into an opportunity. But Murakin, he adds, I won't be bringing you on my missions. I have other tasks for you. So until then, you two lay low, he tells the dragon and his nanny. Then comes a new privilege. After your afternoon training, an instructor announces, you pure bloods will train in this secret ground reserved for those who carry Runcandel blood. Do not expect it to be easy. To battle, to win, to possess. Those traits define Runcandel's swordsmanship. There is no fixed form to it, and the ultimate techniques are reserved for flag bearers alone. The family guards its deepest secrets jealously. It all rests on the unique bodies and talent the Runcandels are born with. To be Runcandel is to carry a blessed bloodline. What you have learned so far, the instructor says, was the simple part. Then the real lesson appears. What is this? A cadet asks. There is something inside, the clear rocks, a deceptively deadly drill. You strike them over and over, listening for the sound they make. It looks harmless enough. If you do not strike hard enough, the instructor explains, the rock gives an unclear sound. The cadets settle into the rhythm. This is perfect training despite its simplicity, Jin thinks, but it is just hitting a rock repeatedly. Too safe to be the secret Runcandel drill. So what, he wonders, is the third sound. It felt like steel fragments, he recalls uneasily. And then it happens. No way, someone shouts. The clear rock detonates, spraying lethal shards. What just happened? The cadets gasp, scattered and shaken. Now, the instructor says calmly, you know everything you need to know. What just happened? The others repeat, staring at Jin. You are the first to come through unhurt, the instructor marvels, since Luna. I never expected another unharmed child, he admits. Uncle, a cadet asks, how did Luna knew Nim avoid it? Because Jin dodged it exactly as she once did. Tempers flare among the cadets. Hold it in, Tymant, one urges. We aren't strong enough to fight them yet, and we have a mission ahead. But Mesa, the other fumes, they insulted the young master. Have you forgotten? Mesa snaps. This is Runcandel. We carry out the mission we were given. In the chaos of the exploding rock. Ack, a brother cries. D. Daytona, watch out. The shards fly everywhere. And in that instant, Jin feels it. Youngest one, are you all right? A brother frets. I didn't mean to do that, but Jin is barely listening. Something just clicked. It has been about a month with the clear rocks, he reflects. My brothers can finally make them explode too, though it took them longer. But what was that sensation just now? Jin, he realizes, the shards' paths are drawn so clearly, like the trajectory of an incoming arrow. If the iron beads come at me again. Could this be tied to the training sister Luna gave me? He wonders. Then, before I lose the feeling one more time. Soon, Zed has news. I hate banquet attire, he grumbles. My condolences, nephews. Thanks to you, the other brothers won't have to dance at the Imperial party. There is a catch, of course. There always is. Sisters Mayu and Anne are punishing their ignorant brothers, Zed explains, by sending them to a grand social event in the Bement Empire. It is too big to decline, even for Runcandel. Strong people will attend. Watch closely, you might learn something. And then the real assignment. Your task, Zed says, is a VIP assassination. The target is Talaris, the master of the Ice Palace. The Ice Palace, he explains, is the great tower at the center of the continent's western sea. Its master is its owner. The current 51st master, Talaris Endorma, nicknamed the Spider of the Abyss. Famous for being endlessly merciless to anyone who harms her lovers. The Ice Palace answers to neither Runcandel nor Zippel. You understand how powerful she is, yes. It is a suicide mission, dressed up as an honor. Mammoth, a cadet, blurts. If it is in Mammoth, the Guardian Knights will be involved. Uncle, I have a question. The stakes climb higher with every detail. They decided it was better to kill him than risk their secret leaking, Zed explains. So, what do you think? Can you do it? I will do it, Jin answers at once. This brat knows exactly how dangerous the Ice Palace and Mammoth are, Zed thinks, and he accepts without blinking. I was ready to argue if he called it unreasonable. I like that you are straightforward. Is Jin really going to Mammoth? A worried voice asks. He is willing, Zed shrugs, so I have no reason to stop him. Afternoon training is cancelled until the mission. Just do not let your personal practice interfere. The disgrace has a target, a death sentence, and absolutely no intention of dying. How surprising, Jin teases, for you two to worry about me. No, the Tona twins sputter. We only said it so you won't die because we're going to destroy you ourselves. Sure they are. Even the bullies are coming around, in their own prickly way. The youngest has flipped the whole dynamic. Do as the youngest said, Zed orders them. And until you are both strong enough, do not go against him. 2 days later, young master, a servant frets, you're going to Mammoth, the lawless zone. Yes, Jin says. Alone, in disguise, into the most dangerous city on the continent. I cannot be exposed as a Runcandel, he explains. My task is different from the others, so I take a separate gate and go through immigration like anyone else. Your mission is a subjugation, right? A cadet asks. They have no idea his real target. If I am unlucky, one of us might die, Jin tells the other cadets. But worrying changes nothing. Focus on your own tasks, because I will absolutely return. I'll see you later, he says. You've collected some cute ones, Murakin notes of his new companions. Look after them well. His little court will be safe while he is gone. I'm going, he calls. Murakin isn't here either, he thinks. It'll be quiet for a while. You are no mid-class cadet, young master, Gilly says, but Mammoth is dangerous. Please look after yourself. I will, he promises. Exactly the sort of place Jin operates best. The local thugs notice the newcomer immediately. Fresh blood always draws the vultures. Seems we really do have a newcomer, one sneers. Cold water and light snacks for the new guy. You don't carry yourself like a newcomer, another says, wary. Who are you? Some 9-star knight slumming it. They cannot place him. That alone unsettles them. And lick my toes, one thug jeers, pushing his luck. It does not go well for him. He had it coming, the others mutter. We always knew he would. All the crazy humans gather here, just like the master said, one notes. If you want to pass the test of Mammoth's outlaws, you have to prove you belong. Jin does quickly. I didn't put poison in it. A vendor offers nervously. You don't need to know who I am, Jin says. What do you want? The man babbles. There's a great new product. Or are you looking for someone? Jin is, in fact, looking for someone. I'd just be grateful, he says smoothly, if you recommended a place to stay. Somewhere bugs can't crawl in. And the answer leads him straight to his target. An inn called Moonlight Well in the west, the man says. That's where the kings of Mammoth stay, so don't cause a fuss. Now Jin gathers his intel on the mark. A man who never knew a day of suffering, obsessed with pleasure, armed only with a pretty face and a family name. A textbook coward, weak to the strong and cruel to the weak. He loiters in this deadly city for one reason, to win the attention of the master of the Ice Palace. He's likely in his room doing drugs, the intel goes. And as the master's lover, he certainly has escort guards. A pathetic target, wrapped in inconvenient protection. You saved me yesterday, a local fawns. Lucky me, Jin thinks, spotting his mark almost at once. You cannot keep doing this, someone warns the target. At that moment, you are not being pampered here, an aide cautions. Shut up, Alcaro snaps, I don't want to hear it. If you don't get it, I have my own plans. You good for nothings, I'll remember all your faces. Moments later, you commoner scum, he rages, I am of the Zanderer family. It would be great, an exhausted guard sighs, if he just died doing drugs. The feeling is mutual all around. Killing Alcaro is easier than I expected, Jin assesses. The real problem is the aftermath. I have to kill him, slip the escort, and get out clean. And poison is forbidden in Mammoth, so using it would throw the whole city into chaos. Then his eyes sharpen. He has a plan, and it is elegantly devious. How many escorts are with him, he asks. 6 comes the answer. I can kill a man like him anytime, Jin says. Moonlight Well, right. Meanwhile, elsewhere, someone else has an interest in Alcaro. I must share the good news quickly. Yes, young lady. 2 hunters, closing on the same prey. Neither knowing about the other. They must be crazy, an onlooker mutters, sensing the storm coming. Here is the trick. Once I add my 4-star shadow energy, I'll have the destructive force of 6 stars. At that level, they'll assume the attacker was a 6-star magician at minimum. Nobody, not even Veridin Zippel, has just reached 6-star magic, he reasons. And shadow energy leaves no trace of spellwork behind, so there will be no reason at all to suspect me. The perfect frame up. He takes position outside. Shadow energy release, he intones. No matter how I look at it, he admits, this is a half-witted plan. It is also about to work. The power gathers in his small hands. 6 stars of destruction, disguised as someone else's magic. Blooming lightning, he unleashes and Moonlight Well erupts. The blast tears through the inn. But Jin is not the only dangerous person here tonight. Meet Ceres and Dorma, Ice Palace 7 sword, a master blacksmith, and the daughter of the Ice Palace's master herself. There seems to be a high-rank magician with a grudge against Moonlight Well, her people report. We have 6 members inside, an aide says, and Mother's lover Alcaro is in there too. Let's go, Ceres orders. Whatever happens to Alcaro, the lives of our members come first. The 2 missions collide in fire and rubble. Damn it, a survivor screams who did this. You said you killed Zippel magicians earlier, an escort accuses. This is their revenge. That was a bluff, the other wails. Jin's frame uplands perfectly. Judging by the power behind it, an aide notes, this seems to be the final blow. The inn collapses into chaos. Thanks to the pendant, Ceres survives. I avoided any fatal injuries, a member reports. All the Ice Palace units seem alive. The destruction is total, the casualties minimal. Are you all right? Someone calls through the smoke. Young lady, our members are over there, an escort says. Injured, but all safe. What a relief, Ceres breathes. Gather everyone outside. And if they're still guarding Alcaro, just tell them to kill him. Because she came here to do the exact same thing Jin did. It seems she came to deal with Alcaro herself, Jin realizes. Since he'll die anyway, no need for me to even check on him. The job, in effect, is done. I'll cover my face, he plans, pretend I got caught in the blast and slip away. Young lady in escort reports grimly, Alcaro died in the earlier magic. We failed to protect him. Mission accomplished, technically, for everyone. 2 assassins, 1 dead scumbag, 0 suspicion on the real culprit. Jin starts to melt back into the chaos. Then a voice rings out. I am the daughter of Talaris, master of the Ice Palace and commander of the 7 swords. Anyone who opposes us is an enemy of the Ice Palace. Ceres has taken the stage. The Mammoth locals bristle. The kings of this city rule here, they protest. Your authority does not reach this place. The Ice Palace may even be to blame for the attack. I said it once, Ceres replies coldly. Oppose this, and you become an enemy of the Ice Palace. Her word is law, and everyone knows it. Isn't it obvious we should have authority here? Her people press. First, search the survivors, Ceres orders. It was no one of ours. There isn't a magician among us. But who knows what enemies a scumbag like the target made? And here is the delicious irony. Why is a kid like you still here? An escort barks at the disguised Jin. Didn't I tell you to get out? Here, roll up your pants, Ceres says, tending to him. You're lucky to survive an attack like that. She has no idea she is helping the man who caused it. Forget it, it's nothing, she says gently. How could someone like you ever repay me? Just think of it as a good memory. The assassin, comforted by his target's own daughter. Jin keeps his face down and plays the frightened child perfectly. Mission complete, with no one the wiser. But the trail leads nowhere. I think they were warning us, an aide guesses. Take a good look around, Ceres says, and I should arrange a meeting with the Zippel family soon. Her suspicion points everywhere except the real culprit. Reaching 5-star swordsmanship, even I didn't expect that, Jin admits. I only kept up the clear rock training as usual. Modest words for a historic feat. He has done the impossible, and the world is noticing. Did you place these flowers, Gilly, he asks. No, they appeared in your room while you were away, she says. Should I remove them? No, Jin says, scanning them. There's no magic or curse on them. His rise rattles the entire line of succession, including brother Joshua, the nominated next patriarch. When Luna renounced her place as first flag-bearer, the second flag-bearer, Joshua, rose as the leading candidate, backed fully by his mother, Rosa Runcandel. And Jin makes a calculated move. The benefits of revealing my achievements outweigh the risks, he decides. Now that I'm known as a 5-star, word of me will spread far beyond Runcandel. My story will run in newsletters across the world. It is a quiet shot at the succession. Father, it turns out, wants an heir other than Joshua. And Jin intends to be that heir. The succession was settled, he reflects. Diffis, Runcha, and Mary as interim successors, the line set in stone. But since I appeared, all of it has changed. One regressor, rewriting a dynasty. I'm certain Father's orders will contain 2 things, Jin reasons. The first is a trial. Father does not want me dying to my own brothers before I take that test, he notes. Because I am a special case. and special cases require special precautions. You must keep a close watch on Muraken, Jin warns Gilly. It is over for us if he secretly turns human and sneaks into the banquet. You understand, right? I'll heed your words, young master, she promises. Strawberry pie, the dragon mutters hopefully. A few days later, the butlers are buried in replies to official letters. The mystics were curious too, and Aid notes. And through Khan, the patriarch has sent word. Father arrives in 1 month, with the other families scheduling their visits to match. It is all a matter of reputation, and Jin's reputation is climbing fast. But every rise invites a counterattack, and his rivals are done waiting. They move to send the youngest into Zippel's territory. Yes, mother, the schemers say. Meet Runsha, the 3rd flag-bearer, Ran, the 5th, and Vigo, the 6th, a united front against one boy. There is no way you will send him to Colin, his mother snaps. Mother, they protest. The room turns into a battlefield of its own. Honestly, one sister fumes. I don't understand why mother keeps protecting the youngest. Because the youngest has earned what they never could. Everyone here grew up under fierce competition, a sibling argues. I was sent on brutal missions the moment I made intermediate rank. Competition is necessary by any means, his mother agrees. But have any of you ever become a 5-star at such a young age? Pardon, they stammer. The silence is its own answer. In other words, she says coldly, the 2 of you are not worth my protection. And since you 3 are flag-bearers, she continues, you share the blame for their stunt. Ran and Vigo each return one of the family's prestigious swords you hold. A brutal punishment, delivered without mercy. His mother does not protect the weak, she protects the worthy. Will you let it slide? Jin offers, and punish me instead. Mother, he says, stepping forward. You truly wish to go, knowing what kind of place the Colin Ruins is, she asks. I understand the danger, Jin answers, but I have no intention of backing down from this fight. How reckless, his mother muses. Or are you trying to read your mother's intentions? No, Jin says. They cannot fight me directly, so they wield their authority instead, he explains. That is my point, mother. In a head-on fight with my sisters, I would lose. The Colin Ruins are a place that kills anyone who misjudges them, she warns. Do you have confidence? Jin does not flinch. Brother, a sibling whines, those are swords we already returned, so why? Succeed in this mission, his mother declares, and I will give you your brother's swords. You are all dismissed. She has turned their trap into his prize. But it seems my protection was not even necessary, she notes, watching him. The boy fights his own battles now. You might not know this, an enemy thinks, but I'm not a very lucky person. You won't stay composed much longer. This mission is not a solo one. Because the trap has a second layer. I'm coming with you, an escort says. Lima Haas, young master. It is an honor to fight at your side. And please forgive my mistake the other day. Sweet words, suspiciously timed. Thank you, young master, they fawn. An honor, Jin thinks dryly. All 3 of them belong to Mayu and Anne's faction. Are they planning to stab me in the back in an already deadly place? He studies the assignment. The location, the Colin Ruins. The targets, 4 artifact guns. Colin was once a settlement of thousands of natives. Now it is Zippel territory. When the Zippel family discovered Colin centuries ago, they slaughtered or enslaved nearly all the natives. They claim to respect them now, but only on the surface. In truth, they are still slaves. The lives and rights of those people erased. Today's Zippel seeks rational rule and earns loyalty, Jin reads. But the Zippel of the past went much, much too far. And buried in that history is a secret. The mirror is top, secret within Zippel, but according to the natives, its true name is the Fountain of Mana. An artifact so potent that merely gazing at it raises your magic to the 7th star. A treasure worth dying for, or killing for. These two buildings house the Zippel and outside magicians, Jin notes. The artifact we want is in the third warehouse. He maps the entire operation in his head. All right, thanks, he says. If we factor in a safe return, we'll need to manage our stamina carefully. Yes, I understand, his suspicious escort replies. The trap and the trapper, walking into the ruins together. The journey begins, and so does the betrayal. At that moment, the traitors make their move early. Young master, what are you? An escort gasps. What is this? It can't be poison. Their own plan turned against them. A pill one chokes. No, Jin says flatly. What do you mean no? The man rages. Are you saying you came here to kill us? I would have suspected you less, Jin notes coldly, had you acted as arrogant as you normally do. Your sudden politeness gave you away. Jin handles them without breaking stride. Got the wine and one starts. He never finishes. The backstab fails before it begins. And now Jin is free to do what he actually came for. Only 2 guards, he observes, and no others outside either. The warehouse is within reach. Let's take a look inside, shall we? He murmurs. A magic circle of blood and detection. The masses call it security magic for verifying bloodlines, Jin explains. But it actually distinguishes humans from demonic beasts and detects those touched by epidemics. So as long as it is a normal person's blood, it does not matter whose I spill. He has a workaround for everything. Then, he bypasses the ward with ease. The first alert magic was simple, he notes. Now, where is the artifact? I used an unconscious guard's blood, he reasons, so I definitely used human blood. And yet the ward reacts. Something is wrong. Unless he realizes that guard was not human at all. Wind of silence, he casts, sealing the room. It looks like I won't avoid a fight after all, he sighs. And the guards come apart at the seams. Their bodies twist into something monstrous, flesh tearing, reforming, hungry. This is no ordinary security detail. Jin's blade meets the horror head on. Steel against unnatural flesh. That regeneration speed belongs only to upper-class demonic beasts, he notes. But these two are not beasts. They were human a minute ago. Something deeply wrong has been done here. These mysterious monsters, he thinks, studying them mid-fight. Did the Zippel family use the Colin ruins as a laboratory for forbidden magic? Jin wonders. The pieces form an ugly picture. Their movements are cruder than a trained 4-star knight, he assesses. Fighting them is not the hard part. These living golems do not stop no matter the damage, but destroy the core and it ends. Head, heart, or abdomen. If that's the rule, he decides then first. He strikes for the weak points with surgical precision. Its speed hasn't dropped at all, he notes. If anything, it's getting more aggressive. But Jin is faster and far more clever. One by one, he finds the cores and ends the abominations. How could you do such a thing to your fellow man? He thinks, looking at what Zippel made of these people. Beneath the monster was always a victim. The last golem falls. Phew, Jin breathes, the room finally silent. Please release me, a dying voice whispers, the humanity not entirely gone. It is a mercy in the end. Very well, Jin says. I don't know what was done to these people. Once you transform, he reflects grimly, you become a consumable with no future. Zippel spent human lives like ammunition. But he does not forget what he saw. Because creating living golems, he knows, is a crime severe enough to draw the Empire's investigation agency, even unproven. I'll collect the evidence, he decides. This isn't a problem the current me can solve, he admits. The mages haven't moved on it yet. Most of them still think this is just an ordinary basement. But the artifacts on the plates are a real pain, he notes. Disarming security magic usually takes serious effort, but Jin is not most people. He works the wards loose with practiced ease. I'll take it in a fiery way, he decides, and claims his prize. Meanwhile, back home, the sabotage unravels. Sending Jin into Zippel territory, Luna says coldly, "Are you out of your minds?" Sister Luna, a schemer, sneers, "Are you really asking because you don't know? And if I am, what will you do?" "Be ashamed of yourselves," Luna says. And then the news arrives that ruins their day. "What?" they gasp. The youngest succeeded in the Colin Ruins quest. He's reporting to Mother right now. In the end, Luna says, "You gave him the very wings he needed to soar." I wonder if a sabotage has ever failed so spectacularly in Runcandel history. The trap made him stronger. "You two should be careful from now on," Luna warns them. "I say this out of genuine concern. You went wrong somewhere, but you are still my younger siblings. To raise your hand against your own family the moment they came home," she sighs. "I thought puberty had hit you twice." "What puberty hits at my age," one mutters. Even her scolding carries warmth. "Don't be so gruesome," Luna says, "there's still blood. Anyway, did you research what I asked? Because Luna is hunting too." They were in the intermediate class at the time, and Aid reports, so there was nothing to find. "That makes sense," she nods. "It wouldn't be Mary or Yona, nor the Tona twins." She is narrowing the list of who tried to kill her little brother. Masters Ran, Vigo, and Miss Runcha remain, the aide says. But aside from Ran and Vigo, I cannot investigate the others rashly. The conspiracy has powerful protection. Luna files it away, patient and dangerous. Despite the assassination attempts, an aide notes, the young master keeps growing well. You needn't worry too much. "Thank goodness you came back safely," Gilly fusses. "It's fine," Jin smiles. "Don't worry about me. Soon even you won't be able to beat me." The boy can still joke after slaughtering monsters. And he comes home, with more than a completed mission. "What is it?" Gilly asks. "Oh," Jin says, producing something. "The two basement guards turned into monsters and attacked me," he explains. "They regenerated every time I hit them, and this came out when I pierced their hearts. A golem core. And if what you say is true," an ally concludes, "this is Zippel's doing." Jin now holds a weapon against his family's oldest enemy. With proof of Zippel's crimes in hand, Jin sets his sights higher. "I want to ask them personally," he says. "What exactly is going on?" He is done reacting. Now he hunts. "No matter what mess we make there," he reasons, "Zippel has to bury it to protect themselves." "Okay," an ally says, "I'll make some time." As for the traitors, justice is swift. Expelling cadets who completed an official mission was a cruel punishment, but no one felt an ounce of sympathy. June 1795. "I'm so jealous," a cadet sighs, watching Jin's star rise. "You no longer need to attend morning training with the others," an instructor tells him. "Next week, the family head will give you a special pledge." Jin is being set apart from the pack. "You act on your own now, without family support," the instructor says. Finally, Jin thinks, no more being scrutinized by everyone. Word of Jin reaches the very top. "What he has been doing in the Garden of Swords truly shocked me," an elder admits. "Though I think he has been trying to hide it. I will also have a talent for killing my enemies, father," Jin once declared. The other brats sensed it and tried to hold him down. "I expected him to use his subordinates as shields to kill the White Wolf tribesmen," Chiron muses. "Who would have thought he'd do it alone? And with that, he proved the weight of the beliefs he declared to me." Strictly speaking, an aide notes, he didn't do it entirely alone. "Anyway," Chiron says, "he's a fun kid. I'll have to ask him about it this time." The patriarch himself is intrigued. And the patriarch's interest changes everything. If these grown children were truly managing on their own, Chiron remarks, I wouldn't have needed to leave the Black Sea at all. Please, come inside, an attendant urges. I've prepared the food you like. The demigod has come home. Yes, father, a sibling says. Did you give the youngest the swords I let you take as a gift? The youngest stole them from us. Good, Chiron laughs. Then make sure to steal them back. The youngest is quite shrewd, isn't he? Even the cold patriarch is amused. At the banquet, father and son finally speak. This must have been your first banquet, Chiron says. Even on the rare times one was held, Jin recalls, I hid myself like a criminal. A different life entirely. This time, he stands in the center of it. It means your achievements are truly noteworthy, Chiron says. Thank you, father. How many guests do you think we'll have, Jin asks. A beat later, it has grown by about 200 since the last one, 7 years ago, Chiron says. Do you know what that means? All 1,000 guests here today are exceptional people, he continues. For 7 years, I did nothing but train, slaying demonic beasts in the Black Sea. The family's power rests on his shoulders alone. Without you, father, the Runcandel name would not carry this weight. We are one of the two great families, alongside Zippel. But the moment you are gone, Jin presses, the gap in military might tilts hard in their favor. Zippel becomes the greatest power. Father, if you were gone, and these people turned their backs on us. What an onlooker gasps at the boldness. But Jin is not finished. Weaknesses, Chiron asks. In exchange for returning Vigo's sword, Jin says, I had him show me the family's commission contracts, which only flag-bearers may read. The head of the Vernga family cheated the emperor and pocketed imperial treasures. Thanks to us, they attend this banquet shamelessly. Jin holds blackmail on half the room. So you're saying, Chiron tests him, that even without me, you could protect the family with that. If a patriarch who isn't a Genesis knight leads Runcandel, then everything depends on his skill at negotiation. True, Jin admits, but Zippel could never justify wielding such things openly. He has thought several moves, past everyone in the room. And if it came to it, he adds, I'd prepare to take revenge on the Zippel family, no matter how long it takes. The other children, Chiron reflects, lack the nerve to even imagine Runcandel falling in front of me. They posture and boast. But the youngest states his convictions plainly, with a level head. What a shame I had him so late in life. Because the patriarch knows his own time is finite. And he is searching for an heir worthy of it. There is something I wish to discuss after the banquet, Chiron tells him. Wait until you are called. But the knight has other plans. Patriarch, an aide cries, rushing in. Something is wrong. What? Chiron frowns, an uninvited guest. The audacity is almost impressive. Chiron does not hesitate. How impudent, he says. Heinz, tell Andre Zippel to screw off, but let his family members in. And do not tell them yourself. Have your servants do it. A calculated insult delivered with precision. I didn't expect him to refuse Zippel's second. In command while cursing him out, an aide marvels. Am I being too rough? Chiron asks. It is a deliberate power play. Without warning, it's exactly as you said, the aide confirms. Andre will do as you say. Even Zippel bends to Chiron. And then the patriarch turns the spotlight where he wants it. As such, Chiron announces, I'd like you all to express your gratitude to my youngest son, Jin Runcandel. He lays out the rules. If you brawl after drinking, follow the guardian knights to the arena. The loser submits, the winner shows mercy. This is a banquet, after all. Violence here is simply inevitable. At a peaceful party, Jin notes, rivals would just glare and leave. But this is a party at the Garden of Swords. Abide by Father's 2 rules, he realizes, and even if you can't kill your enemy, you can beat them within an inch of their life. This sure is one crazy family, an outsider mutters. Jin, you too, Chiron adds. Just don't pick someone weaker than you, the patriarch instructs, unless they insulted you or the family. And losing is not allowed. Obviously, Jin says. If you lose, Chiron warns, I take everything back. The sword Bradamante I'm giving you, right down to your nanny. It is my first real conversation with my father, Jin thinks. In my past life, I could never have even dreamed of this. My only goal, he tells Chiron, is to surpass you. The disgrace, aiming at a demigod. The guests swarm him. Congratulations on becoming a 5-star youngest, they fawn. Mind if we stand at your side a while? Yesterday's reject is today's prize. Okay, I got it, Jin says, playing along. A pleasure to meet you. Ah, you're the first flag bearer of the Ken family. He works the room like a born politician. How embarrassing, a guest fumbles. Not everyone is so charmed, though. Ah, I see, Jin says. Even if you're a Runcandel, the man sneers. In the world of martial artists, I'm still your senior. I was just excited to have such an exceptional junior, so what's with the attitude? He has picked the wrong junior to condescend to. The Ken family's first and second flag bearers, the Dragon King Order, the Order of the Black King, and aid lists. All of them are senior to you, no? They try to box Jin in with rank. It does not work. Do as the young master says, the tide turns. I knew that mouth of yours would get you in trouble, one mutters to Wooger. Let's smooth this over. And so the proud senior bows. As my senior, please forgive my mistake, Jin says smoothly, forcing the apology back onto them instead. Geez, Luna sighs, you really have a knack for making enemies. It'd be nice if you could act cute like a normal kid sometimes. And what would you have done, she asks, if Wooger had demanded a duel? I told you to watch your mouth, an aide scolds the senior. Thank the young master you're still alive. Just learning the sword should be enough, Luna says. What more do you need? You wouldn't understand, sister, Jin replies. But there is a great deal I must learn to survive as the most hated youngest in this family. Luna studies him, curious. I wonder which of our siblings noticed his talent so early, she muses. Anyway, I came because this banquet was celebrating you, she tells Jin, but it's not really my scene. I'll find somewhere more fun. Even her leaving is a gift. Because the white whale's shadow protects him. This way, she says, fewer people will dare be rude to you out of fear of me. See you later. Isn't that the white whale, guests whisper. She really came for her good, for nothing youngest brother. Her presence rewrites how the room sees him. Elsewhere, the banquet swirls with intrigue. Shut up, Buvar, someone snaps. Nobles posture and preen, jockeying for advantage. I knew it, Lady Margiela, a sycophant gushes. I, Buvar, will gladly become your two legs. It is that kind of party. And Jin is the star everyone wants to orbit. The flattery comes in waves. You dared ask the rising star of Runcandel for a drink. Guests murmur, scandalized and impressed. The disgrace has become the prize of the season. It's an honor to meet you, young Master Jin Runcandel, they fawn. He does not have to search long. Someone finds him first. If you're 15, then we're the same age, a voice says. How did you achieve so much so fast? I'm jealous of that body, blessed by your Runcandel blood. It is Ceres and Dorma, here at the banquet. Unlike you, I'm my mother's only daughter, she says. Oh, apologies, was that rude? Not at all, Jin replies smoothly. It's well known I'm the youngest. Honestly, I envy you, Lady Ceres. So many siblings is exhausting. By the way, young Master Jin, she says sweetly, I have one thing to ask. Is your injured leg feeling better now? And just like that, the mask slips. You're far more brazen than you look, young master, Ceres says. I believe you owe me an explanation. My subordinates never found the magic terrorist from that night, she explains. A real blow to my pride. And afterward, I started to wonder if the little boy I let go was the culprit. Magic, you say, Jin says innocently. You were on a Runcandel mission, she presses. If you'd hired a magician beyond your own means, fine. But there was no one in the Runcandels would target, except the Ice Palace. She has worked out everything. The disguise that fooled everyone did not fool her. So you'll feign ignorance to the end, she says. Then I'll drag you to the arena, and after I beat you to a pulp. Father strongly warned me against fighting those weaker than me, Jin notes dryly. Young master, a guardian asks, have you come for a duel? That he confirms. Until your duel ends, we'll keep the arena clear. Spectators with a taste for blood will crowd in after midnight. The stage is set. All right, Jin offers. In return, if I win, you pretend you never saw me that day, Lady Ceres. A wager of secrets. And the duel begins. Ice and steel, in the lamplit arena. Ceres comes at him with everything. You're making me a little sad, Jin taunts, since I never got to learn my family's secret technique. So what will you do about that? He is, of course, sandbagging shamelessly. He fights down at her level on purpose, trading blows, giving nothing away. Without warning, he's rushing to block my attacks, Ceres thinks. But as this drags on, his real ability keeps leaking through. Because Ceres is still only a 4-star martial artist, Jin keeps himself carefully boxed in beneath her. Moments later, he could end it in a heartbeat. He chooses not to. The duel dances on. Ice crystals bloom across the arena. Are those crystals imbued with aura? Jin notes, studying her secret art. He learns her technique, even as he pretends to struggle against it. But then her ultimate move comes, and it is genuinely lethal. He's a prodigy who hit 5 stars at 15, Ceres reassures herself, but he can't break the Ice Palace's secret technique. So what is this unpleasant feeling I have? Her instincts are screaming for a reason. How she gasps as the tide shifts. Because Jin's counter is far deadlier than she realized. He could let it land. If she hadn't evaded that, an onlooker gasps, she'd be dead or disabled. I feared death and dodged it, Ceres thinks, stunned. I Ceres and Dorma. I'm sorry, Jin reflects. Ceres heard my warning, yet refused to evade the storm blade. But no matter how much she values her pride, she is still only a 15-year-old child. So he gave her the out and let her take it. I'm sure you'd have told me to duck too, Jin says kindly. So please, let's not speak of this again. He hands her a graceful way to save face. You have an injury on your face, Ceres notes, softening. Let me repay you for sparing my life with this. She tends his wound. 2 enemies, finding an unexpected respect. And let today be the first day we ever met, she says. See you tomorrow. A truce, sealed in mutual secrets. The next day, the banquet thins. Fewer guests than yesterday, an aide notes. Duels can be watched starting today, so maybe the party finally gets going now. Jin keeps a careful eye on one group in particular. The Zippel delegation. I heard the Zippel guests are all between 15 and 20, he notes. So this time, those bastards can't produce their living magicians. This time, I can stop that atrocity before it happens. And then a familiar nuisance wanders in. Why is a cat at a Runcandel banquet? A guest frowns. Where's your owner? It is, of course, Murakin, sneaking in despite Jin's warnings. The dragon has no sense of subtlety. Oh, it's that cat. A young man laughs. I knew I'd find you if I followed it. And that young man is trouble. Searching for you, he beams. Who are you? Jin asks flatly. I can't believe you'd say that the moment we meet. How could you forget me? I think about you every day. What a weirdo, Jin mutters. Let's go, butterfly. Do you remember me? The man pleads. Listen closely and remember this, the stranger says. My name is Veridin Zippel. If I'm this insistent on pretending I don't know you, it should be obvious it's because I don't want anyone to see that I do. So why can't you understand that and stop bothering me? A bizarre, loaded introduction. Everything about Veridin Zippel is a contradiction. The hall is large, Jin says, but it's still one hall. You wandered for 2 hours. If I could use magic Veridin size, I'd have found you sooner. I can't believe you're already 5-star Veridin gushes. I knew you'd make it big, and I wasn't wasting my time either. As a magician, I'm already a... And Jin's eyes narrow at the number. The Zippel family's greatest prodigy, Veridin, at a mere 6 stars at 18, Jin thinks. If I were in his place, I'd have passed the 7th star already. He doesn't seem to be hiding his rank, Jin concludes. But if Veridin truly stalled at 6 stars by 18, then after the current Zippel patriarch, Celiac Zippel, the succession there becomes very interesting indeed. You sound just like my father, Jin says. Anyone would, Veridin shrugs. Anyway, Jin presses, why did the Zippel family crash this banquet uninvited? The answer is not what he expects. Destiny, Veridin says brightly. Be grateful it's a banquet, Jin replies. Stay quiet and leave. Aren't you being a little cold, Veridin pouts. Your father showed mercy to my uncle, so promise me, one day you'll crash a Zippel banquet too. I always keep my word, Veridin vows. Even so, I won't kill you, and even if a fight breaks out, I won't take part. A strangely sincere promise from an enemy's son. Why leave so suddenly, Jin asks. Because an unpleasant fellow has been eyeing me for a while, Veridin says, and he is gone. A mystery for another day. Then another nuisance appears. Will Lady Luna not return? A man frets. I wanted to give her this. Once she reads it, the suitor preens, Lady Luna will see I'm a better man than I look. Perhaps soon, you and I. Why, young master, he yelps, as Jin's attention lands on him. Don't speak to me so casually, dear guest, Jin says coldly. What are you? I guess the Runcandel family looks that pathetic in your eyes, Jin says. Brother-in-law, the man stammers. Why are you doing this so suddenly? Please stop, I only expressed my love. Any man has the right to love whomever he wishes. And did I not simply praise how beautiful your sister is? We'll settle this hand to hand, Jin decides. Jin tears into him with bare hands. Bewbear, he realizes, hiding in plain sight as a lovesick guest. The transformation sorcerer, finally cornered. I kept trying to challenge him to a duel. An onlooker complains. So why is he fighting that guy instead? Screw off, Jin tells the beaten Bewbear. Now for the real focus of this banquet. Because his next opponent is a true challenge. Young Master Jin of Runcandel, a voice says, at least let me introduce myself before our duel. I don't even want to know your name, Jin replies. But this one he cannot brush off. Is he around 6 star? The crowd murmurs. So the young master chose someone stronger than himself. That one's whole focus is combat. The duel is set. I'll have you crying on the ground, begging forgiveness, the opponent boasts. Soon to be tested. Steel meets steel in the arena. And then a familiar face intervenes. Brother Bishkal, a young woman calls. Margiela, the man startles. For young Master Jin to pick on a weaker opponent, she says slyly. Will you just watch, even though Jin is our friend? Brother, your sister is disappointed in you. Teach young Master Jin a lesson. She is maneuvering her own brother into the ring. Hear your sister out, the crowd urges. Why don't you put him down and fight me instead? Bishkal offers Jin. Jin's eyes light up. First-hand experience against the Ibriano family's swordsmanship, he thinks, would be excellent training for me. Margiela Ibriano, what a funny young lady, Jin muses. To shove her own brother into a corner just to watch this fight. You clearly cherish your sister, Sir Bishkal. Isn't that obvious, young Master Jin? The man replies fondly. Then Bishkal corrects a misunderstanding. The man you just beat bloody is not our servant, but a companion. Could our Bewbear Gaston have made some mistake? Whatever it was, Bishkal continues, he meant no harm, so please overlook it. Buber Gaston, he calls him plainly. And Jin's blood runs cold, because Buber Gaston is the transformation sorcerer. There was no record of the Ibriano family having ties to Gaston when he was arrested in my past life, Jin thinks. Does Bishkul even know Buber is the shapeshifter? I found Buber, and now I only have more questions. Let's just focus on this fight, Bishkul says. I hope to learn much from you. And from a single strike, Jin understands the gulf between them. And the trajectory of his sword are beyond anything I could fully comprehend right now, Jin admits. Bishkul Ibriano is the real thing. If the Ibriano family's sword is a cunning snake, then the contrast could not be sharper. The Runcandel sword is a charging rhinoceros, Jin reflects. Even with its horn broken, it never stops charging forward. And Jin charges forward exactly that way. Bishkul is obviously going easy on me, Jin knows. But it's also true that I, a mere 5-star, am holding my own against a man past the 7th star. The whole arena holds its breath. That was a good fight, young Master Jin, Bishkul says. But the exchange nearly ends in disaster. Their blades cross at lethal speed. A single heartbeat from tragedy. And then the swords break. Sir Bishkul Ibriano, someone screams. The arena erupts in panic. Two prodigies push to the very edge. And both walk away barely. Sir Bishkul, his people cry. Sir Bishkul Ibriano, the call repeats. Quickly bring young Master Jin inside, and aid orders. The moment that sword broke. If Sir Jin had reacted 1/10 of a second sooner, Bishkul realizes, and I 1/10 of a second later. The margin between life and death was that thin. They both know exactly how close it was. You're a scary guy, Bishkul admits, with genuine respect. Get off, the crowd swarms. Jin has made an indelible impression. You're awake, young master, Gilly says. Gilly Jin groans, how long was I out? 2 days, she answers. Don't think like that, young master, she soothes. For 2 days, your fight with Sir Bishkul has been the talk of the whole banquet. Bishkul could have been the one impaled, the experts whisper. To think a 5-star has reached the stage of the heart sword. We have great expectations for his future. The days Sister Luna guided me are finally paying off, Jin realizes. At first, I couldn't understand the training at all. Don't ever open your eyes, she had told him. Now that blind perception is becoming his secret weapon. It only activates in extreme situations for now, he admits, but there's no need to rush. It's astonishing I could fight an 8-star at all, even clumsily. And the banquet gave him so much more than a duel. I confirmed Veridin's true rank, he tallies. I uncovered Buber, and I gained something like friendship with the heir of the Ice Palace. There are many possibilities behind the transformation crime, he reasons. I don't need to solve it today, so first, I'll dig up the background. The disgrace plays the long game, as always. The Ice Palace heir left these behind, Gilly notes, eyeing Ceres' parting gifts. Did she come to like the young master? An enemy turned, almost, into something else. Anyway, young master, Gilly says, the patriarch ordered you to see him the moment you woke. Father did, Jin asks. Strawberry pie, Murakin adds helpfully. Looks like I'll be away from the family for a while, Jin senses. Where is father? You're here, Chiron says as he enters. The conversation that will shape the next 5 years. Yes, Jin says, I'm planning to leave soon. And Chiron for once speaks plainly. To put it another way, Chiron muses, the family's hero. I also know there are no graves for him anywhere in the Garden of Swords, the patriarch says, and that dark power you carry. The demigod has been watching closely. And because of that, he asks the question that matters. Soldrit, Chiron says, have you heard his voice before? Yes, Jin answers. He calls me contractor. Then, Chiron asks, can you use that power to overcome your siblings? It is not really a question, it is a mission. To be acknowledged, the others left their mark on the Garden of Swords, Chiron says. But you will leave to find an aspect of this family worth acknowledging. In that time, he commands, either be acknowledged or come to acknowledge the family, and return with your answer. A 5-year trial, unlike any the others were given. I will greet you again in 5 years, Father, Jin vows. Did your talk with the patriarch go well? Gilly asks after. Gilly, Jin says, turning. His little household is coming with him. I already know, Gilly says, the senior nannies told me. It's a little awkward, suddenly losing the use of my power. Because leaving the family has a cost. Please don't worry, she insists. It's enough that I can serve at your side, and my power returns once you finish your test. Loyalty over comfort. They pack their lives into a single departure. Let's go, Jin says. And the disgrace walks out of the only home he has ever known. With Soldrit and shadow energy, he thinks, the youngest may be our only hope. That child may hold the strength to finally free the Runcandel family. A father's faith, placed entirely in his least likely son. Young master, an aide frets, was it really all right to leave without any farewells? Jin has his reasons. The cadets, it's a shame, he admits, but I'm not marching to my death. If I'd told them, they might have sent me off with a full sword salute. He prefers to slip away quietly. A reserve flag-bearer travels unseen. Fame, was it? Runcandel's reserve flag-bearers before they earn their flags. Must build their names from nothing. But father gave me a total of 5 years, Jin notes, for one reason only. Learn everything there is to know about shadow energy, then return. His first destination raises eyebrows. The Arkan Kingdom, an ally balks, the nation tied to the Lutero Magic Federation. Isn't that Zippel territory? Why head there? Straight into the lion's den. You won't have heard this, Jin says. I learned it in my past life. Every unregistered magician and warrior, there is a puppet of a dark family called Tessing. There are grimoires I need to buy, he adds, and one particular ring. Young master and aide notes, we won't be able to use the teleportation gate into Arkan. So Jin takes a more direct route. The Gene Kingdom, but how, the aide asks. We'll just fly, Jin says. What are you waiting for, Murakin? It's fine, we should try it at least once, Jin reasons. Though if the family realized. A Runcandel riding a black dragon would raise some questions. I'll have to fly hard to reach the Gene Kingdom by tomorrow, Murakin grumbles. And the unlikely pair takes to the sky. A boy and a 1,000-year-old dragon. It can't be, someone gapes from below. The sight of a lifetime. You're something else, Luna murmurs, sensing him go. You left without even a goodbye to your sister. May you find fortune in battle, my cold little brother. Strawberry pie, Murakin groans mid-flight. You all right, Jin asks. Why is this my fault, Jin protests. Because you were flying weird, the dragon complains. You told me to fly, Jin shoots back. Even legends get airsick, apparently. Their bickering never stops. Was he just sulking because of how people treat black dragons, Jin wonders. Can't be helped. Kid, the dragon says, I'll mind the bags, you go get the money. A practical division of labor. And in Jean, a familiar face waits. Young Master Jin. Someone he saved, hoping to repay the debt. I wanted to thank him again for saving my life, the man thinks. If you ever need anything, just ask. When will I get to repay his kindness, he wonders. Hey, Sember, Jin says. Yes, the man answers. Who? Sember startles, not recognizing the disguise. Calm down, Sember, Jin says quietly. It's me, Jin. And the debt comes due, gladly. Wonderful, Jin says. Then I'll wait here. Bring me some gold and money. A travel fund, courtesy of an old kindness. It is a deliberately hard road. They are forced to live in poverty, but Jin, as usual, has found a clever shortcut. The Gene Kingdom's food isn't bad at all, Jin says. Honestly, I was ready to starve for days like the other flag bearers, but thanks to you, it's easy from the start. It's not extortion, he clarifies. By giving me the money, Sember was able to clear his own debt. It was an honor to help you, Sir Jin, the man beams. Kindness repaid in both directions. We're taking a teleportation gate, an aide warns. What if you vomit again like last time? I'm a binge eater, Jin says shamelessly. I eat my fill first, even if I lose it all later. And without me, you'd have starved for days. What do you mean, binge eater? The aide sputters. The journey is equal parts danger and comedy. At that moment, the place we're headed now, Jin says, is the Arkan Kingdom. More than half those dragons will cower at the mere mention of my name, Murakan boasts. Those scoundrels strut around now. The world has become such a fine place, HMPH. The old dragon misses his glory days. But the danger ahead is real. Dozens of contractors, bound to gods, are backing Zippel right now. Jin is walking straight into the heart of his family's greatest enemy. I'm the only one who has contracted with a god for Runcandel, Jin reflects. Without father, Zippel would have already destroyed us. But how did Zippel gather so many contractors in a single generation? To call that a coincidence feels wrong. A mystery he intends to unravel. He moves through security with practiced calm. Attention all passengers, the gate announces. His forged papers are flawless. They're sophisticated enough to fool even Bement's Special Affairs Division, and aide notes. The teleportation will begin shortly. The Arkan Kingdom, Jin murmurs. It has been 15 years since he regressed, and we have arrived, he says. The Arkan Kingdom, heart of Tessing's shadow empire. And the place feels exactly as rotten as it is. A strangely gloomy place, Jin notes, even with such nice weather. The darkness here is the humankind. They look for lodging and walk into a trap. Strawberry pie, Murakan grumbles. Is it wise for unregistered mages to flaunt money in a neighborhood like this? Jin knows exactly what he is doing. He is fishing for the city's underbelly. Are you the owner of this inn? He asks. A gigolo, the innkeeper sizes them up greedily. And the pretty lady beside him, his maid, he leers. Welcome to Jet's Inn, the man oozes. We have plenty of vacant rooms. Always a bad sign. When you wake from drinking that, the innkeeper sneers later, you'll be starting a new life in the underground auction house. He plans to drug and sell them as slaves. He has chosen the worst possible victims. Because the gigolo is a regressed monster. How dare you try to poison me, Jin says, unaffected. You will die here, the innkeeper threatens, before the tables turn entirely. Let's talk, Jin says calmly. A self-proclaimed broker of high-quality information. And a con man, through and through. He took everything from the naive me except my clothes. He once boasted of past marks. Not this time. This time I'll use you, the cornered Jet snarls. I won't go down quiet, I'm a 5-star, for all the good it does him. Against Jin, 5-star is barely a warm-up. I was wrong, Jet backpedals. And it wasn't poison, just a sedative. That's the same thing, Jin replies flatly. Huh, Jet squeaks, all bravado gone. Shut up, Jin says. Don't speak until I tell you. I'll ask you a few simple questions now. And my instinct will tell me if you lie, he adds. Fine, do whatever you want, Jet whimpers. A new, very reluctant ally is recruited. If you spare me, I'll be incredibly useful, my lord, Jet grovels. I know everything about Arkan. You dragged us here to sell us, Jin observes. That's right, Jet admits. And yet Jin keeps him alive. Pardon, Jet blinks. Because a guide who knows the gutters is worth more than revenge. Thank you, my lord, Jet weeps. Kid, Murakin scoffs, you'll waste money on medical bills for trash like him. If we spare him, and Aid warns he'll just trick us again. Let's trust him, Jin decides, since we needed an Arkan guide anyway. First, I'll find someone to treat his wounds. Mercy, used as a tool. It's tiring acting like this when I already know everything, Jin sighs. But I'm not telling anyone I'm a regressor, so there's no help for it. Rest up until your bones heal, he tells Jet. In the end, it was a healer from the Lutero Magic Federation. To think someone we found on the street was so talented, an onlooker marvels. They hit me, then heal me, Jet despairs. Who are these people? Heir to a great martial family? Bement's Special Affairs Division? He has no idea how far off he is. With his guide secured, Jin moves. We need to go, he says, to the underground auction house. Hey Jet, a gatekeeper says, why so many people today? Are they products? Stop running your mouth and open the door, Jet snaps. They slip into the criminal world's beating heart. A den of slavers and thieves. And Jin walks in like he owns it. These guys are funny, he muses. An orchestra even. For a place run by gangsters, it's surprisingly refined. Take these, an attendant offers. If you're going to the auction, better cover your faces. So, who's the real boss here, Jin asks. Keep talking, he encourages. To a small fry like me, the man says, Ali is different. He has the power to pacify these filthy streets. Runcandel, an aide whispers, wary of exposure. Do you think people like that associate with low, life street gangsters, an aide asks. I agree, young master, says another. No matter how I think about it, there's no one like that here. No, Jin says. Because Jin is hunting something very specific. If there's a connection to the Magic Federation, he reasons, then it's highly likely to be him. The 9-star curse that stole my sword-bladed illusion. No mage in Tessing could place a curse that powerful. 15 years and not a single clue. I need to at least grasp at the straws. A sudden brawl in enemy territory is a bit much, and Aid worries. A plan, Jin says. Lend me your ears for a second. Kid, the dragon marvels, sometimes I really wonder what's inside your head. You come up with these things. Excuse me, sir, an attendant says. The Flower of Tessing, the underground auction house. And it is exactly as ugly as its reputation. Today's first product, the auctioneer crows, is yours to use however you like. The stock is quite good today. I was foolish, an ally murmurs darkly, but I'm relieved there are no children among them. Kid, what do we do now, Murakin asks. If there's something I want to buy, Jin says, I'll get that first. Then we make our move. And the ring artifact, he notes, eyeing the catalog. All right, the auctioneer booms. Now we begin. Sold, he calls. Excuse me, young master, an attendant asks. Jin plays the board noble perfectly. Of course, sir. Please do as you wish, young master, an attendant fawns. Damn it, my job, my ass, he mutters under his breath. The first grimoire this afternoon, the host announces, belonged to Matthew Wunnick, a mage who once ruled the world. Jin sees through the salesmanship instantly. I've watched this Tessing auction a whole week, an observer notes, and it's all been like this. The host keeps talking nonsense. The next item. Most of it is fool's gold. We'll start the bidding at 50 gold, the host says. But sometimes there are grimoires that are unscratched lottery tickets. The bids climb. And Jin knows exactly which tickets are winners. 150, the host cries. He's buying at that price, the crowd murmurs. Some noble's young master. A grimoire a dragon recommended, in truth. Sold at 150. SHL Geel Hister's grimoire, the host announces next. Hister, the crowd mutters. Exactly the kind of overlooked treasure Jin came for. 200, the bidding climbs. And Jin pays without hesitation. Just because I think it's worth one more purchase, he says. To think I'd find it here. The grimoire of Hister, his master from his previous life, the one tied to that family. A piece of his own buried past, recovered. Amazing, he marvels. It's the exact Chenmi technique I was hoping for. I'm relieved, and Aid breathes. You finally bought something. If you hadn't purchased anything today, we'd have been in trouble. Jet, Jin says. I need to meet Spider-Hand's Ally. Then go and tell Ally one thing, Jin instructs. That Veridin Zippel wants to see his face. The con begins. Because the disgrace is about to wear an enemy's name. He's not special affairs, Jet realizes excitedly, but a pure-blooded Zippel. I'm going to become a Zippel informant and finally escape this hellhole. Veridin Zippel is here, Jet crows. My life is going to be smooth sailing. He has no idea who he's actually dealing with. The bait is taken. You're Veridin, a thug asks. The boss wants to see you. And Jin plays his stolen role to perfection. Cold, imperious, untouchable. Exactly how a Zippel heir would carry himself. The criminals scramble to please him. I'll say it one more time, Jin says icily. Tell your boss to come here himself. Power performed flawlessly. Without warning, the boss arrives, groveling. I failed to recognize you. Who resides in the sky above this earth, Ally fawns. But something nags at him. He's different, Ally thinks. His aura is different. A week earlier, the plan was born. I'm going to pretend to be Veridin Zippel, Jin had announced. What his household gasped. Young master, that's. It's not about whether you get exposed, Gilly had worried. If the family finds out in the future, or even the patriarch, the things that could happen. Get up, Jin said, unbothered. Because the payoff is worth the risk. Take a look at these, he tells Ally. He has the boss exactly where he wants him. How much money have you made like this? Jin asks coldly. Sir Veridin, Ally stammers. It's no excuse, but I'm just a martial artist. I was too foolish to recognize the value of those texts. Please, give us a chance to bring them back. And why, Jin says, would I trust people like you to retrieve them, rather than doing it myself? My family begins their investigation tomorrow, the fake Veridin warns. And Ally panics, exactly as planned. There were others kept under heavy guard and storage, he offers desperately. They're in the employee residence. Allow me to step out and I'll bring them at once. He hands Jin the keys to his entire operation. All right, go on, Jin says. Do everything you can. But don't forget you're still in the palm of my hand. Ally bows and scrapes his way out. Yes, sir, he says aloud. A piece of shit, acting so arrogant, he seethes inside. He has no idea the trap has already closed. I'll find any way to buy them back, Ally vows, scrambling. Strawberry pie, Murakin adds, unbothered. Is this really all right? An aide asks as Jin helps himself. It's fine, Jin says. There's probably nothing here that wasn't stolen in the first place. Hey kid, Murakin asks about that Ally guy. He'll realize you're a fake by the time he's back. What do you mean, Jin says. We're just shopping for free, then running off before Ally returns. A heist, dressed as a negotiation. He strips the operation bare. And gathers exactly what he came for. I'll take that as a compliment, Gilly, Jin says. Young master and ally calls, I'm here. All right, good job, Jin says. We're done here. But cons have a way of unraveling. And this one is no exception. The pieces start to fall. Why, young master, Jet gapes. You can cast magic and fight. Jin has been many things tonight. Give them the accounts and introduce yourself as a whistleblower, Jin tells Jet. That's the only way you'll survive this. I just want to succeed for once, Jet whines. I'm sorry, he confesses to the wrong person, but I'm not Veridin Zippel. And that slip is all it takes. I heard something through the Zippel hotline, Ally realizes. That Veridin Zippel has long silver hair. The disguise has a fatal flaw. They took the slave records and the customer list, and aide reports, then fled, declaring Tessing's auction is finished. Jin has gutted the whole operation. And now the boss knows he's been played. The hunt is on. But Jin is several steps ahead. He freaked out at the thing in your hands when you left the auction, Murakin recalls. How did you even know about something that old, let alone get it? Now then, Jin says, let's go have a little talk. Found you, Ali bellows, catching up. You scamming wretches. Did you really think you could fool me and run? He has walked straight into Jin's hands. I have the transaction ledger with the ancient grimoire your Zippel family hunts, Jin reveals, and the customer registry, naming every aristocrat who looked the other way for you. By tomorrow, the whole world will be watching you, Jin says. Isn't magic mail convenient? Frankly, you're finished. Blackmail delivered with a smile. The spider hands is the one caught in the web now. Murakin, Jin says, I want a one-on-one fight with Ali. Ha, the dragon size, what a pain. Don't just stand there and watch. Ali screams at his men. And the thugs rush in. Straight into a buzzsaw. Jin and his companions tear through them. Magic and steel, in perfect concert. The numbers mean nothing. Against this group, they never did. The henchmen fall in heaps. If we cast magic now, and aid warns, we'll hit our own. Then aim for the ones in the back, Jin says. He coordinates it like a conductor. Even outnumbered, they are never outmatched. The fight is brutally one-sided. They're all below 5-star, Jin notes dismissively. Barely an obstacle. He carves a path through the chaos. And yet, an aide teases, you still didn't even say goodbye to her before leaving, young master. You weaklings, Allah's men cry, have nothing but your numbers. Just drop dead, all of you together, they scream. It is the last brave thing most of them ever say. The henchman rooted, Ali makes his last desperate stand. Cornered, furious, and out of options. He throws himself at Jin directly. The boss has gone mad, his own men cry. Has he lost it? Well, Jin thinks that'll save me some trouble. Because Jin wanted this fight all along. What does it matter if I tell you anything? Ali snarls. You'll die here anyway. True, I won't know if you're being honest, Jin admits. So what should I do now? One thing's certain, I don't intend to be beaten down one-sidedly here. He squares up against the crime boss alone. This guy is itching to kill you, Murakin warns. Give it your best and don't die. The dragon, for once, just watches. And then Jin draws steel. The fight ignites. A sword, Ali realizes, caught off guard. So you weren't a mage after all, he gasps. Jin has been hiding half his arsenal this whole time. And now he reveals it. Blade and shadow, in deadly harmony. Ali scrambles to keep up. A shallow hit, he winces. Damn it, Ali curses, to be in this spot because I fell for his simple trick. The boy himself isn't even the real problem. The real problem is everything Jin keeps in reserve. Sir Murakin, an aide frets, are you really not going to step in? It is the young master's wish, the dragon replies. Because Jin needs to know his own strength. Pardon, an ally blinks, as Jin shifts into something new. He reaches for a relic from his foreknowledge. A weapon no one here could expect. Long ago, Murakin recalls, when Runcandel's magic swordsmen still fought. They wielded tools like this. And Jin has tracked one down. It wasn't an artifact, Ali realizes too late. Moments later, it is something far older and far stronger. Jin channels his power through it. Summon lightning, he calls. The arena lights up. Ali reels back. If you stand there defenseless like that, the boss spits. You'll lose your life, child. Helmet release. Jin answers and the relic awakens. Power floods through him. More than Ali ever imagined. The fight is decided in an instant. Ali falls before the disgrace. Beaten by a boy he tried to sell as a slave. The spider hands undone. And Jin claims another piece of his legend. A helmet of myth. And knew exactly where to look. Because he has seen its future. The Mjolta's rune. Thousands of years ago, Mjolta was forged for Bement, the first emperor, who was the lover of a demon in the middle of a great war. It will be offered to Bement's emperor 5 or 6 years from now, Jin knows. The academy and the press were in chaos over this helmet, so I remember exactly where and when it was first discovered. Foreknowledge turned into a weapon. He simply got there first. I heard you have ties to the Runcandel family. Jin presses the dying boss. Is that true? Kid, Ali rasps, you should have asked sooner. What answer do you expect from a man on his deathbed? I see, Ali murmurs cryptically. So it was Teve you failed against. His final words are riddles. What is he talking about? Jin wonders. I guess that isn't your real name. The boss takes his secrets to the grave. You can't stop that person, Ali warned. If he said that knowing who I am, Jin reasons, then whatever he failed, it probably ties back to the bladed illusion. A clue, at last. Jin works the puzzle. Sister Yona left the family, so cross her off, he thinks. And it isn't Mayu, Anne, or the twins, too young and inexperienced. Which leaves one chilling possibility. The person who cursed me, Jin concludes, may be the heir himself. And the fallout from Arkan is enormous. Tessing has been completely dismantled, the headlines blare. The evil gang that preyed on the innocent, finished. An entire criminal empire, gone overnight. That trash deserved worse, an aide mutters. Zippel and Bement took the public credit, but it looks like you'll take the real benefits. Exactly, Jin says. The ring, the grimoires, a 7-star fight survived, and a genuine victory. They have nothing on the real deal like Gilly, he adds warmly. I'll be more careful, she promises. Thanks to Jet, no one will think to look for us, Jin says. So let's relax and move to the next destination. Where to, an aide asks. He already has the whole route planned. So you'll keep choosing all the bad guys, Murakin notes, the way you used Jet. Sounds good, Jin smiles. From now on, he resolves, every move I make on my pre-regression memories with Gilly and Murakin needs a clear purpose, and Ali's past tie to Runcandel. Threads, all leading somewhere. And there is a reward in the wreckage. I found out what that Chenmi magic was, Jin says. I think it's light magic. Light, an ally repeats. Back then, Chenmi was an enemy of the Zippel family, Jin explains. They erased anyone inconvenient from history itself. That is the true nature of the Zippel family. Cold, thorough, and utterly ruthless. The Runcandel family will become just like that in the near future, Jin warns, so learning these things matters too. He prepares for a darkness, still on the horizon. It's light magic, Murakin frowns, so why is it black? Because in Jin's hands, even light wears shadow. You can use it for both offense and defense, Jin notes. It's called flashbang, Chenmi's most prized technique. You really did well, Murakin admits. Compared to him, this Hister Mage's grimoire is. I'm not sure what's inside it yet, Jin says, but I wonder if it'll prove useful. His master's old book, holding secrets even he doesn't know. And with new power in hand, they ride on. Wow, an ally breathes as it comes into view. The independent city. The next stop on a journey rewriting the world. This place is so pretty, young master, an aide marvels. The whole city feels alive, another says, just like its name. the independent city. Let's head to the center, Jin says. You're not picking another dump again, right? An aide warns. Murakin, Jin sighs. But their low profile lasts about 5 seconds. Wow, a child gasps. A cat turned into a person. Murakin's disguise, blown by a toddler. Of all the ways to get exposed. Uncle, the girl frowns. Mister, why are you lying? I'm not lying, Murakin huffs, and I'm not a mister. What do we do? The aides fret. We thought she was lost, so let's take her to the garrison. But if rumors spread there, won't Zippel catch us? The little girl has stumbled onto their biggest secret. A beat later, the information center, Jin notes. Julia doesn't like the garrison, the girl pouts. This isn't good, an aide worries. What if this place exploits the common folk? Her mother could be a criminal. Let's go in and check first. They walk in braced for trouble. Little Miss Julia is here, a clerk beams. You know this child, Jin asks. All too well, she laughs. She's our leader's daughter. Leader's daughter, the group blinks. The little girl is anything but ordinary. And neither is her mother. Julia, a woman cries, rushing over. At that moment, Julia, Mommy told you not to wander, she scolds gently. But Mommy never plays with me, the girl sulks. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'll play with you lots once my work is done. Really, Julia presses. You better keep your promise, not like last time. Of course, her mother smiles. I was careless, the woman admits. Introductions are overdue. I'm Alicia Badger, leader of Ticken's garrison. Jin Gray, he replies, using an alias. Just passing through Ticken as a tourist. Could you recommend a place to stay, he asks. Ah, of course. Mommy, Julia tugs. Papers, please, a clerk asks. Hello, mister, Julia waves. Hi, Julia, Jin answers. We should be thanking you, Alicia says, for bringing her home. Then we'll be on our way, Jin says. But Jin came to Ticken for a reason. Those people don't like to talk, an aide notes, so I pretended not to know. The city guards its secrets. And Jin is here to pry one loose. They settle into surprisingly good lodging. The service is great, an aide gushes. I've only been treated like this in Hewfester. Can I have the ice cream Julia was eating, Murakin asks. It's famous in Ticken. Gilly, why ask me, Jin laughs. Go order it. Yes, she beams, I'll be right back. Then Jin reveals his real target. First, I'm looking for someone, he says. The Seven Colors is Ticken's best information center, and at its heart is a man called the Noble Sword Kashmir. That's all the family records know, Jin continues. But 10 years from now, he will reveal himself to be the Emperor of Bement, a hidden monarch. He's meticulous, Jin warns. Not only a master swordsman, but skilled enough to stay hidden this long. And finding him proves dangerous fast. Young master, Sir Murakin, an aide says, something's strange. All the staff and guests have vanished, another notes. Something is very off here. Mind if I intrude for a moment, Jin says, walking straight into it. And the trap springs. Blades flash from the shadows. Don't kill him, a voice orders sharply. Because this is no random ambush. Do you think I'm well, you bastard? A man growls. This is the noble sword himself. 3, 4, an aide counts, so many of them. At this rate, we'll be overwhelmed. The odds look grim. You, Kashmir says, sizing up the dragon. And the standoff teeters on a knife's edge. Hello, are you well? Murakin says breezily. I'm speechless, Kashmir replies. Why so informal? Do you look down on everyone because you wear a sword and drag around underlings? For once, the dragon holds back. Sir Murakin, stop, Jin says. That's enough, isn't it? If the authorities aren't after us, please calm down and put the sword away. And then Jin does something risky. Oh my, I forgot to introduce myself, he says. My name is Jin Runcandel. The truth, offered as trust. Young master, his aides gasp. It is an enormous gamble. Thank you, Sir Kashmir, Jin says, as the man calls off his soldiers. To dismiss your men, it feels as if you trust me. Two careful men, choosing to trade secrets. That woman is definitely Gilly McLaurin, Kashmir realizes. I met her before I was deposed from. He recognizes the nanny and the truth behind her. Does she connect to the people she travels with? He wonders. You said you're Jin Runcandel, he presses. You don't seem to be lying, but I have a question about that. And the conversation turns to the impossible. Does your family know a dragon travels with you, young master? Kashmir asks. They don't, Jin admits. Tell me, Kashmir says, why did you seek out the dragon? Since you've shared a great secret, I'll share mine. You've met my daughter, Julia, yes. The reason I came, he explains, is that she said she saw a cat turn into a person. And you believed a small child, Jin asks. My daughter is no ordinary child, Kashmir says. She is a contractor of As Mill. As Mill, Jin echoes. My daughter, a contractor of As Mill, would never see something wrongly, Kashmir insists. You know how many powerful people crave that contract. Can you really reveal something like this so freely, Jin thinks. Something is off. Because Jin knows exactly how dangerous As Mill is. I don't know the full situation, Kashmir says, but it seems to be about that. What Jin says. That doesn't make sense, Murakin scoffs. There's no dragon in this world stupid enough to get kidnapped. But the truth is grimmer than kidnapping. If that child truly is As Mill's contractor, Jin realizes, then without a dragon near her at her age, your daughter will soon go mad and be left broken. Kashmir's face says it all. Listen well, Jin explains. As Mill's contractors see the future. Humans don't know this, but seeing the future takes a brutal toll on a dragon's mind. She's too young now to tell dreams from reality, so nothing serious has happened yet. For the moment, it is still controllable. But the moment it isn't, As Mill's punishment begins, Jin warns. If she sees someone's death and cannot act, she is doomed. Contractors who defy causality are destroyed. Judging by your expression, Kashmir says, what you say is true. Then you must find her guardian dragon as fast as possible and keep it at her side. A desperate father, out of options. I am confident in my abilities, Kashmir admits, yet for a full year I failed to find my daughter's guardian dragon. Now with this, I'm certain. His hope lands squarely on Jin. But Murakin belongs to Jin, not Julia. That's not it, an aide stammers. I can't do anything even if you ask. You need to ask our leader, they deflect. Please get up, Sir Kashmir, Jin says. Our bond is shallow, but this concerns a child's life. First, let's both be rational. I won't forget your kindness, young master, Kashmir says. If even the 7 colors couldn't find it. Tikkun is just a city, an aide notes. They answer to no one. Hey, the group presses, if you're really this capable, then surely you have information on dragons, right? And Jin sees his opening. Because if anyone can find a hidden dragon, it is another dragon. Traditionally, the saying goes, there is nothing dragons do not know. Enya, you came, a girl says elsewhere. The news about Sir Jin again, isn't he amazing? Same age as me, but already a 5-star. Instead of some family kid whose guardian is a black-haired man, a dragon tells her, you, the contractor of Olta, the god of time, are worth far more. A new player enters the board. The world is fuller of gods and contractors than Jin's enemies realize. Did something happen, the dragon asks. Not really, the girl says. It's just that. A black-haired one came around. Back in Tikkun, Jin strikes his bargain. Hide well so you don't get caught, Kashmir warns. All right, Jin agrees. They have a child's life to save, and a kidnapped dragon to find. Kashmir hands over everything he has. Here is the list of active dragons in the Bement region, he says. So they were hiding here, Murakin notes, scanning it. The names of legends mapped at last. Is there a problem, Murakin? Jin asks. None, the dragon says. It might be a little dangerous, but there are matters between us dragons. Let's go, kid. We have a long way to travel. Wait, mighty dragon, Kashmir calls. I leave it to you, the father says, to save my daughter. But before you go, 2 things. When she wakes, play with her, Kashmir says. Tire her out so she sleeps. Understood, the group nods. We'll play with her all day. And the second thing, Jin asks. The second request is far harder. Sir Murakin, an aide, says, you're kind after all. Strawberry pie, the dragon deflects. Not that, the aide smiles. You told Kashmir all those things just to reassure him. Even the grumpy dragon has a soft heart. But kindness rarely goes unpunished. Kid, Murakin says suddenly, they're coming. Trouble on dragon's wings. Why are you here? The earth dragon's Labis an untiled demand. Should we even tell him, they wonder. He's Solderit's close friend, the ruler of tall mountains. We don't know your problem, they tell Murakin, but now is a bad time. Because something far worse is on the way. The energy you just spread is causing chaos, they warn. Quickentel is flying here right now to kill you. Murakin admits sheepishly. She's my ex-girlfriend. The other dragons don't know you're awake, right? They press. If you don't leave now, the rumors will fly. But it is already far too late. Shitty timing, Murakin groans. I'm going to curse you, he tells himself. Because a furious ancient dragon is upon them. And she has held this grudge for centuries. The sky tears open with her arrival. Quickentel, scorned and seething. She unleashes an ultimate skill, roughly 8, star or higher. A breakup, settled by apocalypse. Murakin, you bastard, she roars. Even death can't do you justice. This is going to be a problem. Your ex-girlfriend Jin deadpans mid-crisis. How long were you two together? 500 years, Murakin says. About 5 in human terms. Anyway, when you get the chance, stab her with Bradamante. Romance, dragon style. Kid, you don't understand, Murakin says. I don't bother with anyone beneath my class. So when things go bad, I gather all my strength, and in one shot, I wreak havoc. 1,000-year-old creature, all bravado. Even if you want to run, it's too late, Murakin Quickentel snarls. I'll kill you at sea, she vows. Running, she repeats, is no longer an option, Murakin. The fury of a time dragon descends. I'll kill you at sea, she screams again. Calm down, Quickentel, Murakin pleads. I know you hate me, but that's not what matters right now. Let's deal with the urgent thing first, then talk. She is in no mood to negotiate. The battle rages across the sky. Ancient power against ancient grudge. And a teenage swordsman, somehow in the thick of it. What in the world? An onlooker gasps. Damn it, Murakin yelps. Why are you so angry? The answer is 500 years of resentment. A beat later, the fight tears the heavens apart. And Jin looks for any opening at all. This is no ordinary opponent. A dragon who bends time itself. But Jin never stops calculating. Even against a force like this. Phew, he breathes after a desperate gambit. I bought us some time. I won't die, he resolves. But strong as Quickentel is, she actually came all this way. It's hard to find an opening. Talking isn't working, so I need another way to calm her down. How unfortunate, Murakin Quickentel taunts. How did you ever? You're very mistaken if you think I'm the same as before, Murakin warns. Let's leave it here, for old time's sake. Old time's sake, she snarls. If I think about old times, I won't want to stop at just killing you a few times. Not the response he hoped for. The grudge runs far too deep. And the battle escalates again. Just break up properly, an onlooker cries. This is exactly why I'm upset. Then Jin makes his move. Now he decides. He throws himself into the fray. What? Quickentl startles. A human, she scoffs, dares. Her hide is too tough for even Muraken to bite through, Jin notes. It'll be hard for me to make a dent. However is the word that built his whole second life. He channels everything he has. Shadow and steel, against a god's dragon. Shadow energy release, he calls. And the strike lands true. Kid, Muraken shouts, half warning, half awe. It is a blow that would fell almost anything. Quickentl staggers, gasping. That wasn't enough, Jin asks. A normal dragon would have died, Muraken says, but Quickentl is different. Dragons who command time do not die easily. Still, the boy has earned her attention. And that changes everything. The fight finally stutters to a halt. That, Quickentl realizes, is the reason why. The truce comes from exhaustion and surprise. I didn't know you still had feelings strong enough to go this crazy, Muraken says. Didn't we break up on good terms? With no room to even talk, she fumes. You call that good terms? You always got angry whenever I mentioned breaking up. Ancient love, still messy. And then she notices the boy properly. Wait, before that, Quickentl says. Is he perhaps Solderit's contractor? The mood shifts in an instant. If I think of all who died at your hands, she muses. Yes, Muraken admits, and among them was your older brother's enemy. Old debts surfacing. Wait a second, Muraken stammers. Shit, whenever I see you, I always get emotional. The world's oldest excuse. Now we get to the real topic, Quickentl says. That child was taken by Violetta not long ago. The Wind Dragon Violetta, a name that changes the whole game. Then does this mean it's the Zippel family again, Jin asks. I'm certain they said they'd teach Latri the dragon language magic, Quickentl says. We should move, so they relocate. Let's go, she says. I'll guide you to my home, a forest on the outskirts of Bement's capital. I know, she adds, you're Temer's descendant. The youngest son, Jin Runcandel. What Jin starts? How do you know? How could I not, she says, when he gives off the same energy as Temer. The three of us were often together 1,000 years ago. I simply guessed he was the youngest, she says. The guardian dragon's reaction told me the rest. The founder's legacy still echoes through Jin. But it might really be true, Quickentl admits. The current contractor of Asmil is far too young to control its authority. When Violetta took Latri, she explains, she stopped by Bement. She offered to introduce Latri to me, but kept obsessing over the contractor and asked me to meet her once for no reason at all. A meeting that now reeks of a trap. But Asmil's contractor was never revealed, Jin notes. So how did they know to approach Latri? Was contractor detection magic created while I slept, Muraken wonders. And then the horrifying logic falls into place. They gain two ways, Jin reasons. First, they eliminate contractors outside their own territory. Without warning, and second is far worse. 10 years from now, Jin recalls, the contractor was a pure-blooded Zippel. They can claim a god's contract by killing its current holder. That is why Julia's guardian dragon was kidnapped. The secret behind Zippel's army of contractors laid bare. Aren't you being absurdly suspicious just because it's the enemy? Someone counters. Miss Quickentl, Jin says, you're telling lies even you don't believe. They've reigned for thousands of years, Jin presses. Whatever they do, nothing is beneath them. The chiefs are certainly planning something. Why pretend otherwise? Unless, are you afraid of the Zippel family? I hate to admit it, Quickentl says, but they are skilled. And nothing bad comes from caution. I won't ask for your help, so just leave Bement. Pride and fear tangled together. But Jin has already decided. All right, she relents at last. I'll have my contractor flee first, and then I will help you. I need to see Violetta and learn the truth, she says. If you two are right, they're hunting for an opening right now. If I call, they'll come flying. The trap is about to be sprung in reverse. Anyway, she says, I'll summon Violetta, and after that... The comedy breaks the tension. Miss Quickentle, I'm back, a cheerful voice calls. Enya, the dragon hisses, I told you not to come out. Actually, no, this is better. Let me introduce her. This is Enya, contractor of the god of time, Olta. Another piece joining Jin's growing web. And the alliances keep multiplying. A god of shadows, a god of time, and a boy rewriting fate itself. A beat later, and that, dear viewer, is only the beginning. From a cursed disgrace to the regressor reshaping an empire, Jin Runcandel's true rise is just getting started.